Recover the football! The Tigers jump on the loose football! Oh, Blake Griffin coughed it up as he...
Tiger fans are on their feet.
As they should be.
He pulls it in for the 25-yard touchdown. In Erie, Colorado, you are title town today. Tigers are on top by 2 scores. Hello and welcome in. You're looking live here at All City Stadium, part of the Denver Public Schools System Stadium here at Denver South High School. Brandon Bird here with you. Alongside me is Dylan Richardson as we get you ready for this 4A playoff football game. And Dylan, it's a little bit chilly, but the nerves are already pumping, the adrenaline's flowing. We're excited to be here. They've been great accommodating hosts to us so far, and it just has the feeling in the air of playoff football.
Yeah, this has been a game that the whole school has been looking forward to since the Tigers won on Saturday. And I think the feeling is that the Tigers, they have a chance in this game, a legitimate chance to move on to the quarterfinals after being an 11 seed in the playoffs. And we've kind of been talking about it all week. And, well, this game could go either way, easily either way. But, of course, we will hope here in the press box that it will go Erie's way.
Yep, and we'll have all kinds of stats and stuff for you to take a look at. Tonight, we're going to start out tonight with something that our students worked on for last week. It was kind of a little fall recap on the ETN, maybe the top 10 plays on the ETN this fall. And so we'll go ahead and we will take a look at that here on the Erie Tiger Network.
Looks like the corners are in for Fossil Ridge. One out, runner on third, Molly Nelson. Little floater over the shifted first baseman for a big...
You put your body on the line to stop.
There's a base hit up the middle. One run will score. And 2 runs will score on...
all the way down the field. Okay, hopefully you can see. Hopefully you can block this. Okay, great footwork for you, but I know our defense is... Okay, go for it. That's okay though.
Nesta. Great pass from the set piece, and then a
Real ripper into the back of the net. Oh, Spencer Duffy. What a crack with the left foot. All right, so special thanks to Dylan Donahue for putting that together, along with some of his classmates in the Erie Tiger Network. We have a little story on one of our seniors for this football game. It's called the Senior Spotlight, and this week it's Caden Lettuce.
At Erie High walks the best kids in America. An example of this is senior Caden Lettuce. He plays wide receiver for the Erie Tigers. Caden is not only a good football player, but a good person to his friends, family, and community.
Well, I think it's been really positive, with the support I received from, all my teammates and my classmates, my teachers and stuff, especially throughout that COVID year. I think it's really been a super awesome opportunity for me, and I'm really grateful for, all the people that's made it happen. So I think it's very positive.
Caden has been playing football for years, and he has been a joy to watch all year. He hopes that he can take his talents to the next level.
Absolutely, yeah. I think this is a huge cornerstone for my, my life. I guess it really shaped my beliefs and how I work and what I do for my homework and everything like that. I think this is it's a big part of my life, and I'm really grateful that it's such an awesome part of my life.
As the season comes to a close, Tiger fans can't wait to see what Caden is able to do in the playoffs.
Absolutely, yeah. It's going to be an awesome journey. I'm ready, but I think it's going to be a lot of work. But I'm ready to put in that work, and I'm just thankful that I even have this opportunity. Honestly.
From the Erie Tiger Network, the people that worked on this was Wyatt Johnston, Harris Gearhart, and Aiden Wagner signing off.
And welcome back in Erie Tiger Network. That was a story also done by some Erie Tiger Network class members. Well, we're winding down with kind of the broadcast for fall sports. We'll have winter sports action coming up in just a couple weeks. Of course, we hope on the Erie Tiger Network at least that we have a few more football broadcasts like we did last year. Tonight should be a pretty interesting one, though. Our own Grant Hakimi put together some keys to the game. Here, I know you sit by Grant in class, and you talk to him quite a little bit. And, one of the things he mentioned for a key for Erie, Dylan, is stopping this run. If you look at the numbers between these two teams, at the end of the regular season, through 10 games played, they're within 5 rushing yards of each other. So these offenses very similar. Both can put up a lot of points.
Yeah, well, we've been talking about it. The Tigers' main weakness on defense is the run game. Last week, they did step up and prevent any real running attack from Air Academy. But this week, if the Tigers want to come and win this game, they're going to need to shut down the run.
And Grant went all out this week. He had 4 keys to the game. We mentioned spread the ball around on offense. Let Caden Lettuce win the deep shots in single coverage. I was putting together some numbers today for the Tigers. The receiving numbers just look a lot different than they did even a year ago. Talk about spreading the ball around if you are Blake Barnett. Several guys with 10 or more receptions in the season. You have Caden Lettuce leading the way with 32. The next guy doesn't even have 20 catches. That's Kaveh Meredith with 18. And then you have a litany of guys that have around 10 catches or so. That's something that Blake is used to doing. Caden Lettuce win the deep shots. He's not always the deep man, but it seems like there's 1 or 2 shots a game where Blake dials him up. And when he catches a deep ball, that's usually a good indication that Blake is locked in for the game.
Yeah, whenever Blake is able to hit that deep shot, it means that he has the accuracy for the day, and he's locked in with his receivers on their routes. And as you said, that's a good sign for the Tigers.
And then no penalties was the last key of the game from Grant Hakimi, and his keys to the game for Erie. For Denver South, the number 1 key he put is control the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, well, the Tigers, they love their run game from Trey Kana, and if Denver South can stop that, that'll put a huge dampening on the Tigers' offense. And then on the other side, if they can extend on running plays and take advantage of the Tigers' weak running defense, they will jump out to a lead and could potentially win this game.
And in the passing game, he mentioned target the safeties. Now, what's interesting about that is Blake Barnett has been getting run at safety. You think about that, you don't necessarily want to throw in the direction of Blake Barnett, but maybe you want to wear him out a little bit.
Yeah, well, that's definitely a caveat of having Blake play quarterback and then go to the other side of the field and play on the defense. He can get a little bit worn out, but if Denver South is able to take advantage of the deep ball, they can maybe take advantage of Blake's maybe a little bit of inexperience at safety.
And one of the key players to this game tonight, senior outside linebacker Logan Quinn, hoping to help contain this really excellent Denver South offense. We're going to take a timeout here on the pregame show. This game is brought to you by Jen Realty. Jen Realty, proud sponsor of Erie Athletics. Jen has been an Erie resident specialist since 2005. Contact Jen for all your local town real estate needs. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll have a little bit more of the pregame show. We're about 12 minutes away from kickoff here on the Erie Tiger Network.
Braces? Then make your way down to Caraway Orthodontics. They are located in Louisville and Erie. Caraway Orthodontics supports Erie High School and its community. Come in and gain a beautiful smile for children, teens, and adults. They also provide Invisalign. Call this number 303-828-0454 or go to carawayortho.com.
You know that feeling you get when your life is about to change? It's terrifying, sure, but isn't it exciting? You may not know with certainty what lies ahead, but that's what makes life, well, life. And even when the scene in the rear view is hard to leave behind, take a deep breath, hold on tight, and remember, there's no better way to move than forward.
Jeff Foxworthy here. You know, if you've ever found yourself repeating the same thing for 75 years, you might be Smokey Bear.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Well, thing is, there's a lot more to say. Like if you've ever found yourself burning yard debris and then walking away, well, you might be starting a wildfire. So for the love of the outdoors, go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
And welcome back in, Erie Tiger Network. Brandon Bird here with you, Dylan Richardson on our pregame show as the pregame show goes on. And we have
At Erie High walks the best kids in America. An example of this is senior Caden Lettuce. He plays wide receiver for the Erie Tigers. Caden is not only a good football player.
That's still okay. Sorry about that. I guess I should not hide any of our shortcuts like I usually do in the pregame show. I usually eliminate them. Sorry, we fired a video there. That was on accident. I think we're okay as you see the Denver South field still. We have a weekly segment. We call it Terrence's Corner. Is that a fan favorite or is it a it's a in-class favorite, that's for sure. Will Whiteley, Terrence or Preston Terranova, we call him Terrence, putting that together.
Hey, Vsauce, Michael here.
All right, guys, welcome back. Terrence's Corner, episode 6, 4, or 5, I don't know. Today I'm here with Discord Kitten Keaton.
Hey, guys.
And Carter, also known as Carson. Hello. So normally I don't take question requests, but Keaton wanted me to ask Carson a question. So the question today is, Carson, how does it feel when you're on the sideline not starting and Keaton is?
I just got to say I got more tackles than him.
Check the stat sheet. It's not true.
He has more games played. I have one less tackle than him on max preps.
I got more games because, I go out there, play my heart out, and start.
Okay. So, both you guys play linebacker, right?
Correct.
Yeah, start.
Do you start?
No.
It's a hard start.
Nah, man, going out there with the whole starting defense, we're feeling good, feeling courageous, going out there, playing with our hearts.
Yeah, I'm with.
Yeah, you're out there.
Yeah.
You got Derek back there.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah, okay, all right. Anyway, so enough with your starting. What's it like playing linebacker?
It's pretty fun. You just fill a hole and go hit someone.
Yeah, he's kind of got a predetermined hole you go to.
That's it? That's what you like about playing linebacker?
I mean, yeah, D-line, takes all the hits, and then linebackers get all the fame.
Yeah, I guess he's right, but I like reading the running back and then just go hit him.
Are you an ankle biter or you hit up high?
I'm an ankle biter.
Ankle biter.
Keaton, how much do you bench press? How much do you bench press? How much do you bench press?
More than Keaton, so 275.
280.
You're full of crap. Okay. We're not doing pick six because we're saving that for the game, you know.
So for the Montrose game, I just would like to air out. Carter started that game, so.
I did.
All right. Be quiet, all of you. Be quiet. Order in the court. Instead of pick six, we're gonna do a would you rather question brought to you by Will. If your mom and your dad were hanging off a cliff, who would you save?
Oh, God. Go Keaton first.
Or Jada, because we all know you love Jada. Well, you got 3 people. That's that 280 bench press. Which one you pulling up?
I gotta go Jada because she No. I got reasoning. She financially supports me. Come on, let's get it.
What about you, your mom, or Avery Malik?
I'd definitely go my dad.
Why?
I feel like I'm more like my dad, and I'm always talking to him more than my mom. I love my mom too, but I'm closer with my dad.
So not Avery Malik?
No, I'm not.
Sweeney, if you're watching this, don't be mad. We were just joking. So, now, time for a trivia question. Carter's been nervous. Keaton's been nervous. So, the question is going to be related about U.S. history.
Okay.
So, the question is, who was the second president of the United States?
Do it.
Monroe.
John Adams.
It's John. Marilyn Monroe was not. Marilyn Monroe. Oh, so now Marilyn Monroe.
Who's Marilyn Monroe? That's my question.
You don't know who Marilyn Monroe is? Yo, insert a picture of Marilyn Monroe, please. All right. Will said he's got it. All right, guys. Thanks for watching Terrence's Corner, and we hope to be back next week. We really do.
We will. Hey, we will. We'll be back next week.
We will. We will for sure.
All right. Goodbye, everyone.
All right. Thank you, Preston, for that little pre-game show staple now. We'll have to bring that back next year as well. Let's take a look at one of our key matchups here. Blake Barnett and all that he has brought into this game. You take a look here. Denver South, one of the key players on defense will be Braden Fitz. According to some of the class members, anyways. I look at this, Dylan, as a matchup between offenses. Who is going to maybe it could be one of those games where it's a race to 35 or so. What's your gut feeling tonight?
I think it's going to end up being a high-scoring game. I agree with you. Denver South has given up a lot of points in most of the games they've played this year. Notably, they gave up 35 to Longmont. I do remember that. I'm going to have to agree with you. This is going to be a battle of the offenses. Erie gives up plenty of points. They've definitely reduced scoring last week against Air Academy, only 7 against. But whenever they've played high-ranked opponents, they've given up plenty of points. 35 to Longmont, 35 to Broomfield, 49 to Montrose, 34 to Mullen, and 39 to Pondo. And then Denver South on defense, very, very similar in terms of non-reduction. Skyline, they give up 24. That's a playoff team. 35 to Longmont, 43 to Golden. That's the 12 seed. They did limit Ponderosa scoring to 17, but Ponderosa did lose their quarterback. And then their league was pretty easy. Pondo was the one good team in that league, and then they had Vista Peak, Far Northeast, and Thomas Jefferson. That they did give up some points to them, but this is going to end up being a high-scoring game.
Yeah, could very well be. One thing to keep an eye on, and we're looking down on the field. We thought that there might be an issue with Rashad Codwell, the leading receiver for Denver South, and his health coming into the game, but we're looking down on the field. He is in full uniform. We're going to take a timeout. When we come back, we will have kickoff here on the Erie Tiger Network.
If you ever wanted to support the Erie Tiger Network, the student media arm of Erie High School, well, now you can. We have set up a Patreon page. It's a way for you to send us a monthly pledge in order to provide funding for the program, as well as get access to reward tiers. As a Tiger fan, you get the satisfaction of knowing you are helping out your favorite local media organization. As a member of the ETN fan club, you are officially recognized on air and can receive ETN goodies throughout the year. As an in-broadcast red sponsor, you get to sponsor a specific segment of any broadcast. For more information, email bird_brandon at sbbsd.org. This is a $25 per month commitment. As an appreciator of Erie's live broadcast with the weekly news, you can help support this program by becoming one of our patrons by going to bit.ly/ETN Patreon.
Front Range Landfill puts all your needs in front of everything else. Front Range Landfill won Erie Chamber of Commerce Business of the Year Award, as well as being featured on national television. We are very proud of our facility and we welcome the opportunity to address your disposal needs. Our focus is on customer service. We strive to achieve easy and rapid access in and out of the facility. We feel certain that we will exceed your expectations of your solid waste disposal requirements. Choose Front Range Landfill for all your landfill needs. You will be pleased.
And welcome back in Erie Tiger Network as we are just less than a minute or so away from kickoff here. And Dylan, I talked about this actually when we got out of the car. I said a little bit of the nerves have hit me. I can just feel that playoff pressure and nervousness in the air even now.
Yeah, this is the first time I've ever really been nervous for a high school football game. Definitely feeling a little bit of the nerves here in the press box. Tigers are going to kick it off here. So they'll get the ball to start the second half. But this is going to be a good game.
Yeah, should be a good one. Should see some explosive plays and fireworks here tonight. And the Tigers will start on defense. It'll be Caleb Harner to kick this one off. And Denver South preparing for an onside kick, just in case. The down marker's almost set up and ready. They're trying to get that going here last minute, but I think they're ready to go. And Tigers are ready to go. Their officials are ready to go. Tigers wearing their white uniforms with the orange helmets. Denver South with the purple and black tonight, part of their uniform. And now Denver South will back out, and back deep for the Ravens will be their quarterback Capra, as well as Orlando Guevara, two of their main players that will call plenty tonight. This one's kicked toward Guevara. He backs up. He will catch us at the 5. He drops it for a moment, runs to his right. Tigers will gobble him up, and they will stop him just shy of the 20, and I believe it will start somewhere around the 18-yard line is where Denver South will take over for their first possession of the game.
Yeah, and, well, first time we're going to see these two teams duke it out of the line of scrimmage, and Tigers look like Barnett's going to be deep along with Tolliver. I think we talked about a little bit of a change there. Derek Hall's going to be in at linebacker on the defensive side, and Denver South's going to maybe look to take advantage of those deep safeties for the Tigers.
So Capra in the shotgun here. He's got a wide out wide to each side. He'll run read, gives it right side. Nice little move through the hole. Barnett trying to come up and make a play, and a short little gain there for the Ravens. A pickup from early of about 3 on the play. So 2nd and 7, quickly to the line of scrimmage are the Ravens. Capra has a man out wide. It's Lusk out there defensively at corner for the Tigers out on the near sideline. There's the shift, the read, keeping it as Capra. He'll cut it back over the middle, brings it across the 25 up to the 26-yard line. And a decent pickup there. That'll make it 3rd and short. 6-yard pickup for Capra on 2nd down.
And good work on the read option there, picking up the yards and setting up a 3rd and manageable here for the Ravens.
So 3rd and 1 for the Ravens. Capra quickly to the line of scrimmage. He's in the shotgun, takes the snap. He's going to hand it off up the middle. The Tigers shot through a gap, and they got the loss in the backfield. So a nice play in the backfield there for the Tigers. And they're going to get a big stop there. That'll bring up 4th down.
Yeah, and that's a big stop for the Tigers on the first drive, proving that the run defense has come to the game, at least for the first drive, and they're going to force a 3-and-out from Denver South.
So a 3-and-out. Defense does their job on the first series of the game, and now Denver South will punt to Erie, and I believe that is Blake Barnett deep for the Tigers. Pulling out all the stops for this one is Erie. There's the snap. Almost blocked there by Kana. That one goes straight up. That's going to check around the 50. Takes a great hop for Denver South, and it will be downed at the 37-yard line. And that is where the Tigers will take over as we take another peek there at that 3rd down stop by the Tigers. And a nice little stop it was. So 1st and 10 here for Erie. Blake Barnett will lead the offense. Caden Lettuce, Gavin Lusk, Josh Levine, and Ronan Ward all out wide with Trey Kana in the backfield to start this game. So Barnett from the near hash on 1st and 10. Claps his hands, gets a snap. He'll run read, gives it to Kana, tries to sneak his way through a hole, plunges over the left side of the line of scrimmage, and scoots his way forward for a pickup of about 5 on the play.
And a good first run from the Tigers, picking up the yards. And, 2nd and medium now.
Barnett quickly to the line of scrimmage. Offense checking in. Meredith now in the slot. Kogel also out there for the Tigers. Some quick personnel changes here on the fly. Barnett claps his hands, gets the snap. He'll run read again. Gives it to Connor around the edge. Connor swarmed in the backfield, and he is dumped for a big loss all the way back almost toward the Erie 39. A loss of 3 on the play for the Tigers, and that will bring up a 3rd and 8.
Yeah, and that was a good job by the defenseman for Denver South, and that forces Erie into a 3rd and long now.
So some personnel rolling it out. Donovan O'Brien has checked into the game. He's been injured the last few weeks, so he's checking back in. He's in there with Lettuce on the near side. 8:39 and counting here in the first quarter. 3rd and 8, Tigers' first possession. Barnett takes it. He's going to run the draw. They were spying him. He's trying to get it to the outside. Barnett will cut it up, spins, and he's corralled out of bounds. A pickup there for Barnett of 4 yards from the 40 all the way up to the 44 is where they will mark him, and that will bring up 4th and short. And so in a game where we expected a lot of fireworks, 2 3-and-outs by both of these offenses.
Yeah, good job by both the run defenses. No one has gone to the air in this game so far, and the run defenses have shown up and forced 2 3-and-outs from both sides.
Tigers were trying to get to the line of scrimmage quickly here. Now they'll look. Interesting punt formation here for Erie. Check in some plays at the line, and now a stoppage here. I don't know if we have a timeout. Certainly it's not a delay. Maybe it's a motion call, and that's going to be on Denver South. So it's I didn't see, and I just missed. I don't know if that was an illegal participation for too many men or a movement call before the snap, but that gives Erie a 1st down on a procedure call. And how about that big call? And that gives Erie a fresh set of downs.
Yeah, and the first penalty of the game is a big one, giving Tigers another chance here to get some points on their first drive.
So Barnett will lead the troops back out on the field. He's got trips to the near side. Ball spotted on the far hash. 8:24 remaining here in this quarter. No time on our score bug tonight for you, Tiger fans. Too complicated. Handoff up the middle. Kana, the little jump cut as he snuck from his left, cut it back to his right, and he'll fight his way forward for a pickup of 2, maybe 3 yards on the play for the Tigers.
Yeah, and if you're Erie, you need to take advantage of what Denver South has given you. You need to at least get into a scoring position here after getting the first down on the penalties.
So short gain. That'll bring up 2nd and about 8 here for the Tigers. Barnett again in the shotgun again, trips to the near side. Barnett will roll the pocket, looks downfield, stops, wants to throw the post route. Wide open is Lettuce. He's got it for the touchdown, and the Tigers strike first. A 49-yard bomb from Barnett to Lettuce, and they start this game off with a big touchdown.
Yeah, and Lettuce just beat his man on the outside, and that is 6 points that the Tigers got off of the penalties, and that's a unfortunate mistake if you're Denver South, and a great pass from Barnett gets Tigers 6.
Yeah, Barnett rolled. He looked for Lettuce all the way, and that safety rolled with Barnett, and Lettuce was wide open. Now quickly on the 2-point conversion, the Tigers are actually going to get a procedure call. We hop back in, and it was Ronan Ward that caught it, was about to run for it, and a procedure call might make this an auto extra point. So Tigers will line up for the point after now with Harner. Ward, the holder, the snap low, the good hold, the kick is up, and it is through the pipes. So the Tigers lead it 7-0 here in the first quarter, 7:44 remaining here. We'll take a timeout here on the Erie Tiger Network. And welcome back in, Erie Tiger Network. Brandon Bird, Dylan Richardson here with you. The Tigers lead it 7-0 here in this first quarter of play, thanks to a penalty. And they lined up in that little onside formation, and they pooched it, and it's going to be taken from the 1. Here comes Capper to the near side. He is swarmed, and the Tigers, what a play. It was the ball checked up at the 1. Capra had to pick it up, and Erie stops Denver South all the way down near the 5, and penalty flags raining down on the field after that one.
This might be some unsportsmanlike excessive celebration on the Tigers. That bounce was perfect, bounced at the 4 and just sat there, and Tigers were quick enough. That was a great play call from Geiger after the touchdown, and barring a very long penalty, Denver South is going to be penned deep.
So I'm not sure what the penalty is, but we'll take another look at that kick. And look at that ball, just checked there right up at the 1, and not much Capra could do. And then the cavalry of white shirts just arrived. And it was actually a Denver South penalty that will back them up half the distance to the goal. So this will be on the 3.5-yard line. So the Tigers, they get a 3-and-out. They are forced to punt, but a penalty on Denver South gives Erie a first down. The next play, the Tigers score a 49-yard touchdown, and now Denver South backed up 1st and 10 from their own 3. Capra, he's in the shotgun here. Capra will keep it himself, goes right side, and he takes a heck of a shot. Blake Barnett came up from his safety spot and delivered a big hit, but a pickup there of 2 or 3 for Capra on the run.
Yeah, and a good call from Denver South to get out of that little danger area within the 5 yards of the end zone. Probably avoid a safety, and second and a little bit more manageable.
Haven't heard much of Chevelle Early's name so far, their lead back. See if they give it to him here. Snap, play action, throw on the slant over the middle, and then Blake Barnett delivered another big hit. That was a heck of a catch to hold on. That was Jake Peruccio that snagged that one, and that's just enough for a first down, a pickup there of 9 on the play. And Denver South has their first down of the game. Quickly the line of scrimmage. Capra, low snap, hands off. Chevelle, right side, looking for a hole, and he will get upended around the corner. Does pick up a couple of yards on that sweep play from shotgun. 6:34 and counting.
Yeah, and the speed of Denver South is definitely being showcased. Tigers just fast enough to get to the outside before him, and well, their run defense has been doing their job so far.
2nd down and 7 here. Capra takes the low snap, looks downfield. He's going to fire the deep out. Peruccio has the catch and gets slung down to the turf. That's enough for the 1st down and then some. A pickup there of about 12 or 13 on the pass play from Capra to Peruccio.
Yeah, and so far that Capra to Peruccio link has been good. 20 yards on 2 catches.
And we mentioned that they might be without Rashad Codwell, their leading receiver, and so far we have not seen him on the field. Capra, quick, now looks for the screen. That goes away. He will try and turn lemons into lemonade there, and he does well there to pick up about 3. So good job by Capra. He wanted that quick screen. I think Preston Terranova saw that and jumped it right away, and that was a good job by Capra to eat that football. Quickly the line of scrimmage goes south. 2nd and maybe a long 6 here for the Ravens. Capra scans the defense. Tigers looked like they were going to bring some heat. There's a nice move by Chevelle across the 50. He's got speed in the open field. Barnett trying to bring him down, and he'll try and punch the ball out as he corrals him out of bounds inside the 20. Big pickup there for Denver South.
Yeah, and that was one where Gavin Lutz got caught going the wrong way, and Early just got to the outside and was off to the races. And a 54-yard pickup, and now Denver South is set up in the red zone.
Yeah, a huge run there, and we have heard, in fact, what's interesting is, man, it was probably the Greeley West game. I happened to run into a couple coaches, and we talked about a potential matchup with Denver South as there's a handoff up the middle. This time the Tigers shoot through the gap and drop Chevelle for a loss of 1. Or, excuse me, Chevelle Early for a loss of 1. Early, the running back. And they mentioned, yeah, Denver South, they've got some speed on that team, and we saw that showcase there from Chevelle Early. So 2nd and goal here for the Ravens. Capra, he's in the shotgun. He's got a wide out to each side. Early flanking him to his left. Takes the low snap. Looks to his left. He faces the pressure. Steps out of a sack. Now fires it wide open in the end zone, and a touchdown is scored. And catching that one in the back of the end zone was Antoine Glaspie, the sophomore. And a touchdown there for, and I beg your pardon, that was actually Henry Danford, the junior, that caught that one open in the back of the end zone. Well, it's hard to tell. Is that 16 or 18? Either way, it's a Denver South touchdown. They're an extra point away from tying this one up. Snap good, kick up, and it is good. And with 4:36 left, we have a tie game. We'll take a quick timeout here on the Erie Tiger Network.
Kicking off the season celebrating 35 years of serving our local community. Whether you're a contractor or a homeowner with a do-it-yourself project. At Budget Home Supply, we value a more personal relationship with our customers. Hey, Ernest.
Hey, Vern.
Whether you have a project in your kitchen or bathroom, a new outside deck, or just some general home improvements, indoors or out, come on down to Budget Home Supply.
And welcome back in, Erie Tiger Network. It's all square at 7, 4:36 remaining here in the first quarter. We'll try and remember to say the time a lot since we don't have a timer on our score bug this week. And now Denver South set to kick it up. And you know what? A big play in the run game. That drive started all the way back at their own 3, so a 97-yard drive there for Denver South as they will send this one deep. And that is a booming kick that will go in toward the back of the end zone. And that was Max Lindbaum, the kicker here for Denver South. Denver South didn't like a hit that happened in the kickoff. as there's a little bit of a shaken up rebel on the play. That is Jack Sifkas. So, by the way, we might sneak rebels in on accident every once in a while. Old habits die hard. Denver South now the Ravens. 1st and 10, Barnett with it in the shotgun. He's going to roll. Now he'll throw the screen. That wasn't open. That was diagnosed and read beautifully as Lusk caught it, and he will get back to the original line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain. That was an excellent job diagnosing that one. I think that was Jamari Smith, the senior, that saw it and just stayed with Lusk right in his hip pocket and brought him down.
Yeah, and Barnett had no other options. He had men in his face, and he had to dish it off, and a good job by Lusk getting to the line of scrimmage and setting up at least 2nd and 10 for the Tigers.
Barnett checking in with the sideline. 2nd and long here for Erie. 3:56 remaining here in the first quarter. A couple big plays here in this first quarter. A touchdown pass from Barnett and a long run by Early for Denver South. And timeout is the call, as this game is brought to you by Jen Realty. Jen Realty, proud sponsor of Erie Athletics. She's been a Erie resident specialist since 2005. Contact Jen for all your local town real estate needs. And Tiger fans, always help us out. If you would like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel. That always helps us. Helps us get more just eyeballs on our network. So like this video. Share it, subscribe to the Erie Tiger Network. You can also follow us on social media at Erie Tiger Media on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and now TikTok as well. So be sure to check that out. 2nd and 10 here for the Tigers. As the band making their presence felt now for the Ravens. Barnett claps his hands, rolls the pocket again, and that's a pre-snap penalty. It was, I think, Lettuce heard that early, and that will back up the Tigers. No, that is a Denver South penalty. I beg your pardon, I missed that. And so that will make 2nd and 10 a little more manageable here. And a couple big calls against Denver South here early in this game.
Yeah, the Tigers touchdown was scored 2 plays after a first down call off of a penalty on where the Tigers were going to be forced to punt, but instead they get 6, and then now an offsides call makes 2nd and 10 much more manageable.
So Barnett with Lusk in the backfield. He's got 4 wide. Barnett takes the snap, gives it. Lusk, nice move, and Lusk just kind of stumbles his way forward for a pickup there of 10 on the play and a first down for the Tigers.
Yeah, and Lusk's first run of the night is a good one, and keeps the Tigers' run game going. 1 negative play for the Tigers, but other than that, they have been pretty solid. 18 yards on the night.
Quick snap, give to Lusk, right side, tried to kind of be patient, and it was a good tackle by Alex Van Stelly, the junior, for the Ravens, and a pickup there of 3 for Lusk on first down. By the way, Alex Sweeney back in uniform for the Tigers. Donovan O'Brien, Tigers starting to get a little bit more healthy at the right time. I'll bring up 2nd and 7 here for Erie. Kana will check into the game for Lusk. Tigers really taking their sweet time shuttling this play in. Ball between the hashes, 2:49 remaining here in this first quarter. Barnett claps his hands, gets the snap, runs read, gives it to Kana. Kana put his foot in the ground and tried to kind of lurch forward and was swallowed up in the middle of the line of scrimmage. A pickup there of a yard, maybe 2 for Trey.
Yeah, and a good job by the Denver South run defense, forcing the Tigers into a 3rd and 6. And this is a big 3rd and 6 after the touchdown from both teams.
O'Brien out there, Meredith out there. Lettuce will change sides of the field here. Barnett checks the defense. Claps his hands. He's going to roll, looks, tried to find an open man, and oh, the comeback route. It was a deep one. Sweeney, that actually may have glanced off his hands. That's a tough throw for Barnett. rolling to his left, trying to fit it over the second level of the defense on a real deep comeback route. And tough throw, couldn't quite haul it in with Sweeney.
Yeah, and that was almost intercepted there by Levi Headland. I believe he got a hand on it, and that was why the pass was off the side of Sweeney's hands. And Tigers now forced to punt, but Barnett is in there in the punter position right now.
So Barnett. And we may see some trickery. We will. Tigers, let's see how aggressive they are on 4th down and 6. Barnett gets the snap. He is going to run it. It's a seam pass, and I don't know if Ronan was on a different page. Barnett wanted a flag called. And Barnett's still pleading his case. I don't even know if he wanted that on the pass play. I think he may have thought that there was a procedure call or something. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of contact there between Ronan Ward and the defensive back. Definitely an aggressive call from Coach Geiger here early in this game, but now Tigers defense has got to step up.
So Tigers defense backed up here. 1st and 10 for the Ravens. Capra in the shotgun, early flanking him. Tigers try and show a little bit of a run blitz there, and they stack up early after a pickup of about 1.5 yards.
Yeah, and a good first play after the turnover on downs by the Tigers defense.
Tigers run defense last week was really spectacular and doing pretty good so far. Jackson. Helping out the PA a little bit. That was Jackson Kogel on the tackle. 2nd and 9. Capra in the shotgun. Tigers showing blitz. Early pitch. Nice move by Early. That could have been a loss, and Early just juked a man out of his shoes and was able to pick up about 6 yards on the play, 5 yards on the play, and that'll bring up 3rd and about 4 here for the Ravens.
Yeah, and that was almost a sack and then almost a drop for a loss.
So 3rd and 4. Capra, hard count. Now he'll check in with the sideline. Tweaks the play here. Tight formation. Early will switch sides of the formation. Only 36 seconds left here in this quarter. Coach Geiger was begging his defense to do something. Now they'll bring pressure. Capra will pull it down and run. He has the 1st down, and he'll trot out of bounds as he crosses the 30 down toward the 25-yard line. A pickup there of 7 yards on 3rd down for Capra and the Ravens. And only 26 seconds remain here in this quarter.
Yeah, and a good job by Capra to recognize the pressure incoming and just being too fast to the outside and pick up the 1st down for the Ravens.
1st and 10 here for the Ravens. Capra in the shotgun takes the low snap, hands off to Early. Early stretches out right side, tried to put his foot in the ground and turn it up the field and met a wall of white jerseys, kept fighting off arm tackles and was finally shoved out of bounds after a short pickup there. There was a massive bodies between us and the ball carrier, and the officials kind of conferencing. So I don't know if there was a penalty, and there is going to be a penalty. And this is a holding call that will back the Ravens up 10 yards.
Yeah, and that's another important penalty that's going against Denver South, and that's going to put them back to where they started this drive.
Ravens now with twins to the near side. Tiger defense trying to scramble a little bit. And the ball is on the turf, and I think the Tigers jumped on it, and they did. I don't know if that was just mishandled snap or what happened. We'll try and bring that back up on our replay here in a second, as I tell you what, I don't know what the heck happened on that snap.
That might have been a case of a little bit of cold hands there coming into play. It is cold in the stadium, and Capra may have just dropped the ball on the snap there.
So we're taking a look here, and I don't think that ever got to Capra. No, that was about, I think the center actually snapped it like Capra was under center, as you take a look at that one again. Now Barnett takes the direct snap, cuts it up the field himself, and will lean it forward for a pickup there of 4 on 1st down.
Yeah, and that's a big turnover in this game after the Tigers turn it over on downs in their own territory. They get the ball back with better field position than they turned it over with, and that brings us to the end of the first quarter.
Well, at the end of the first quarter, it is Erie 7, Denver South 7. Big turnover. We'll head to the second quarter here on the Erie Tiger Network.
Hey, I didn't order any pizza.
Jake from State Farm. After you saved me so much dough on insurance with that Parker promo, I devised a promo for you.
Here's the deal, Parker. State Farm offers everyone surprisingly great rates.
Right. Pepperoni pockets, cuckoo crusties.
There's no promo, it's just great rates.
And a cider ranch.
For surprisingly great rates and great service, call State Farm agent Jeannie Hulse in Erie today.
And welcome back in, Erie Tiger Network. This game is brought to you by Gilmore Voice Studio. We weren't able to show you the national anthem at the start. There wasn't a singer or anything, but Dr. Julian Gilmore usually sponsors the national anthem. We'll say she sponsored that little end of the first quarter there. She has 20 years of experience teaching private voice vocal performance lessons. So if you're looking for analysis, stage presence, healthy vocal productions, check her out, and she will get you up to par. And in fact, I think very soon, as there's a nice little run there on second down for Barnett, we'll find out if any Erie choir students made All-State or not. So 11:54 after that run and counting, and a first down for Barnett and the Tigers as we roll into this second quarter of play. An interesting first quarter, some unique moments there, and on 1st and 10, Barnett will be in the shotgun with two wide here to the near side. Barnett will switch the side that Kana is on, takes the high snap, hands it to Kana up the middle, stepped through an arm tackle, and then just kind of dove his way forward. A pickup there for Kana of about 6 on first down.
Yeah, and the Tigers, after getting the turnover, are driving now in Denver South territory, and if you're Denver South, you need to come up with a stop after the turnover.
So 2nd and 4 here for the Tigers. Caught a huge break on the unique fumble right at the end of the quarter there. Barnett takes the snap, fakes, runs read option, has Kogel, makes the catch in between the hashes, and a nice little read option pitch and catch there for the Tigers as Kogel has it across the 30 down to the 27-yard line.
Yeah, and I talked about this earlier with you. I think if Kogel gets involved in the plays tonight, the Tigers are going to have a much more advanced passing attack, and that will set them up on both sides of offense.
Yeah, good read by Blake. Good, quick, snappy pass. Anytime you see Blake completing those quick ones, I always think he just gets in a rhythm and plays better. 1st and 10, Barnett takes the high snap, gives it to Kana. Kana, nice jump cut, has a big hole, breaks a tackle across the 20, is finally twisted down to the turf to the 17, a pickup there of 10 for Kana.
Yeah, and after the big pass to Mason Kogel, a run from Trey Kana, and the Tigers are in the red zone.
So 1st and 10 for the Tigers, driving here. 10:28 remaining in the quarter. Tigers 50 yards rushing, 64 through the air. Barnett in the shotgun. He's got a pair of wideouts and Meredith and Lettuce to the bottom of the screen. He'll take it, run it himself through a hole, and just powered his way forward, left his feet, and was finally, his knee hit the turf inside the 10. Pick up there of a couple for Barnett. Tigers knocking on the door here. Would love to go up by a score again early in this quarter. Barnett claps his hands, scans the defense, fires the swing pass. That's caught by Kana, brings it up the field, breaks through one tackle, and finally stumbles his way forward to the 10-yard line. A pickup there of about 5 yards for the Tigers.
Yeah, and that's for Kana's first reception on the night, and Tigers need to come up with a 3rd down conversion here in the red zone.
So 3rd and short here for Erie. Tigers certainly in 4-down territory here. Last week against Air Academy, this was the one area of their offense that they struggled, were in short situations like this. Barnett takes it himself, look to run, now he'll pull it, fires the pass, and just off the edge of the fingertips, I think that was Caden Lettuce, and he actually hesitated for a moment and then sprinted forward, and we'll even see if we can run that one back just a touch.
Yeah, and looks like Tigers are going to go for it here on 4th down. I like the call, looking to take a lead here, and this is a big moment in this game.
Well, hopefully we won't need to look at that replay. 4th and short. Barnett trying to get Denver South to jump. Will look to pass, fires, and missed his intended target. That was Kana coming out of the backfield, and a huge stop for Denver South.
Yeah, and 3 straight drives that have ended in turnovers on both sides, and we're going to look at the pass to Kana. Blake looked like he was going to run it, then pulled it back, had Kana open, just overthrew him a little bit, and Tigers are going to turn it over on downs.
Yeah, we actually ran back the 3rd down pass play there, but Tigers missed 2 golden opportunities. So 1st and 10 for the Ravens. And neither team has been able to take advantage of their good fortune. Capra in the shotgun with Early. He'll send a man in motion. Early has it on the outside. Tigers trying to seal up the edge, and a good little cut right up the field. And man, Early, you can just see once he decides he's going to put his foot in the ground and go, he goes in that direction real quick.
Yeah, and he gets to the outside of the field real fast, and that makes it tough for the Tigers defenders to get over, and that is why he has 72 yards on the night so far.
2nd and short here for the Ravens. Another give to Early, and this time he's bottled up, but I think he got just enough. It was a short situation. He had to get the nose of the football to the 20. There is a flag, though. Is that right? Or are they just looking at the measurement? I think they want to measure this one. The referees were huddling. I don't know if there was a flag. I didn't see any yellow on the ground. And they will take a measurement timeout. So 8:14 left to go here in the 2nd quarter. We are all tied. As maybe the most unique chain I've ever seen. It has the actual distance, and they will give them the 1st down. So 1st down, fresh set of downs here for Denver South with the nose of the football right at the 20.
Yeah, and one thing to note, Tigers have been employing a 4-man front tonight so far. All the previous games has been a 3-man front with the outside linebackers. And that's a little bit of a different showing. We've been talking about that a little bit, and the Tigers have been employing it tonight.
Tigers. Low snap. Capra in some trouble. Rolling, looking downfield, dumps it underneath, and Capra did a heck of a job to get out of trouble and complete the pass downfield, a pickup there of about 5. It started with a low snap that he had to pick up off his shoelaces, and then he had pressure in his face. I think that was Keaton Strange that got into the backfield quickly. Almost said Gavin Malik, reverting back to last year. 2nd and 5. Capper again takes a snap, looks, fires the quick out to the tight end, and that is Cotton Barnett. Chopped the ball out. The ball was picked up by a Raven. Barnett came up and made a huge punch at the football, and then the ball had hit the turf, and the Raven player, and I wasn't quite sure who got that, picked it up. We'll see if we have time to take a look at this again, but there you can see Blake, and he punched the ball out, and it just laid there at the 29, and the Ravens picked it up. Big moment there. Quickly, handoff up the middle, and the Tigers shoot into the backfield and get a nice stop for a loss.
Yeah, and I think a big factor in this game is the weather. The cold is definitely getting people. I think that's part of why, could be part of why Blake hasn't been crisp on his passing, and that may be a little bit of why Denver South has only gone to the air 5 times.
2nd and 11. And how about that peanut punch by Blake Barnett, though? Playing safety here. Tigers send heat, and they get a sack. They gobbled up the screen, and coming in to clean things up was Jackson Kogel after a barrage of white shirts kind of forced Capra to step up in the pocket, and now that'll bring up 3rd and about 15.
Yeah, and a big play finding the quarterback in the pocket from the Tigers lineman, and that forces a big 3rd and long here for Denver South.
See if the Tigers pin their ears back here a little bit. Always got to be cognizant of the screen pass and the speed of early. Capra in the shotgun. Tigers flinched. No call. It's a draw to Guevara trying to get to the edge. He will, and he'll, oh man, he is hammered right at the line to gain. Tell you what, you don't want to get hit by Blake Barnett. That's what I've learned this game. But a huge pickup there of 15, and Barnett made the hit a yard short of the line to gain.
Yeah, and that was a great delay call from Denver South, and they used the speed to get into a 4th down that they can go for.
It was Orlando Guevara. 4th and short, Denver South is going to call a timeout here. So 6:10 remaining here in this quarter. Not as high scoring as we thought, but we've seen a lot of big plays from both teams, a lot of unusual plays. Denver South has put the ball on the turf twice, but the Tigers have turned it over on downs twice.
Yeah, that's been a big story. 3 turnovers in a row in this game, and no team has been able to capitalize so far, but Denver South is driving right now, but they need to come up with a 4th down conversion if they're going to extend this drive.
So 4th and 1 here for Denver South. And it just kind of looks to me like they're going to bring in the punt team. So I think they're wanting to tread a little bit lightly, but you never know when there's a fake. So Erie, I'm sure, on high alert. Barnett will go back for the punt. If it is indeed a punt, Denver South trying to get set here quick. See what they do here. Snap, and they will punt it away. Spiraling punt, beautiful punt. Barnett will watch that one bounce, and he will let that one roll. Man, you're playing with fire there. And it will be that was a huge punt, all the way down to the 10.
Yeah, and that's 2 punts in a row for Denver South that have taken huge bounces. And this time, Tigers are going to be pen deep and have to drive far if they're going to score.
Maybe Denver South feel a little bit confident about what their defense has been able to do so far and decide to send it back. Blake let that one bounce. I almost thought he could have caught that one and had some return room.
Yeah, I think he maybe wasn't prepared to receive there. I noticed before the play, Preston Turnover was signaling to him that it was a punt. He maybe thought it was going to be a fake the whole way. And maybe wasn't sure where he was set up, and Tigers are going to be pen deep.
By the way, a hold call on the punt return for Erie, so that's half the distance, so they'll start at their own 5. So 5:58 left to go here in the first half. Barnett in the shotgun with Lusk. They got some single coverage on the outside. Barnett's going to take it himself, and he will run into the arms of a Raven after a pickup of 6.
And Barnett, maybe a little bit of miscommunication there. Looked like he wanted to hand it off to Connor or run read or something, but instead had to force and go to the keeper, but gets 6 yards and gets the Tigers out of that 5-yard little danger zone there, close to the end zone.
So 2nd and 4 here for Erie. Barnett in the shotgun with Lusk. Barnett takes the snap, rolls to his right, stutters, trying to get to the edge, uses the speed, and tripped up. That was a heck of an open field tackle as Barnett was trying to get to the edge. And a gain or no gain on the play. Shoot, I can't tell. And the official's actually talking. Okay, gain of 5. I don't know what I was looking at. I guess that play was strung out so far. I thought that was along the line of scrimmage. But a pickup there of 5. Swear I'm not getting that old. So fresh set of downs here. The officials came over to take a peek and gave Blake the 5 yards and the first down. So fresh set of downs here for Erie. Barnett in the shotgun, takes the snap, runs read, gives it up the middle, and that was Lusk who tried to fight his way through an arm tackle or two and only picked up about a yard.
Yeah, and a good job by the front there for Denver South, coming up with the short yardage. And now Tigers need to come up with something. They may go to the air here. They've been a little bit unsuccessful so far, but may see something here on second down.
Barnett looking at single.
There's only one cornerback on the near side.
They do roll it that way. Barnett throws the out route on the run. That's grabbed by Meredith. That throw is so difficult, and Barnett put it right on the money. And that is going to be about a yard short of the first down. A pickup there of 8 to Cave.
Yeah, and that was one where maybe Blake didn't realize, but Denver South only had one cornerback on the near side. Meredith was alone, and he could have checked it and gone for a deep shot there.
3rd and 1. It's Lusk and Barnett. Barnett takes the snap, runs read. Lusk stumbled, hit into the line of scrimmage, backed his way up, kept his balance, and has the first down, and then a 5-yard pickup there for Lusk. 3:52 remaining here in the first half. Tigers, couple first downs as they were backed up to the 5-yard line to start this. We already saw a 97-yard drive from Denver South in this game, and now Erie trying to engineer a long drive themselves.
Yeah, and that was one where Gavin Lusk almost fell down in the backfield with the cold turf. Not as much absorption on the field as you would like, but good job by Gavin to stay upright.
Now Barnett in the shotgun with 3:30 remaining here in the half. Claps his hands, gives it to Kana. Kana sneaks through a hole, breaks it to the outside, across the 45, across midfield, and finally gets drugged down at the 40. Barnett pumping his fist behind the play. A pickup there of 31, or 30 on the dot. They'll mark him down at the 41.
Yeah, good job by Connor to find the hole in the center. And the Tigers, after starting the drive on their own 5, are in Denver South territory. And Denver South not set on that play.
And Denver South not set, and Barnett's going to take it with the speed up the sideline. Barnett across the 10, breaks the tackle into the end zone. A flag is down. I think that's going to be on Denver South. As it stands right now, a 41-yard touchdown run for Blake Barnett.
And a great job by Barnett to use his agility and just tiptoe down the sideline in a big drive from the Tigers.
And I can see the white hat now. He's asking if they want to decline it, and of course they do. And so the Tigers add a touchdown on the board, and they lead it 13-7.
Yeah, and the Denver South defense was not at all prepared for the play call there. And Erie will decline it, take the touchdown, and that is a big drive after starting on the 5 if you're the Tigers.
95 yards capped off by the beautiful 41-yard run by Blake Barnett. Now Ward looking like he might run the 2-point conversion. Now he'll motion everyone in. 3:09, by the way, remaining in this first half. Tigers will get the ball to start half number 2. Snap, good, hold good, kick is up, and it is good by Caleb Harner, and the Tigers lead it by a score. We'll take a quick timeout. Tigers lead it here at All City Stadium.
Are you looking to buy or sell a new home? Jen McGurk, an experienced real estate agent serving Erie, Vista Ridge, and the surrounding Denver area. For years, Jen has assisted all types of buyers and sellers with their real estate needs. Give Jen a call today at 303-949-3331 or check out Jen Realty online at jenrealty.com.
And welcome back in, Erie Tiger Network, as we quickly take a look at that little touchdown run again. Barnett around the edge. And, man, once Barnett gets ahead of steam, well, he can beat anyone in the state in a foot race, as we saw in the 100. Just, about 7 months ago or so, the defending 4A state champion in the 100-meter, Blake Barnett. And the Tigers will do that little poocher again, and that will go out of bounds this time. I like that, actually. You bring the defense up, and there's only one guy back there. I like that. I'm surprised they haven't done that more.
Yeah, it worked well for them the first time, other than their defense not coming up with the stop with Denver South pinned deep. But I do like that. Maybe I think Harner got that one off the side of the foot a little bit, and so Denver South will have, I believe, their best field position off of a kickoff so far in this game.
Well, glad you could join us for this playoff game here tonight. Almost 500 strong of you watching here on the ETN as the Tigers have a one-possession lead with 3:09 left to go here in the second quarter. The Tigers' very unofficial numbers, as we always like to say, 218 total offense tonight for Erie so far. Denver South 140. And Capra will come back out on the field for the Ravens. Ball spot at the near hash. Capra takes a snap, looking downfield. He's going to take a deep shot. He was hit as he threw. Coming open is the receiver. He made a nice catch. Terranova trying to come from behind, and Hall will finally cut down the receiver inside the 5. So first play back on the field, and it's the biggest play of the night for the Ravens.
Yeah, and 58 yards on that one. And that was a nice throw and a good job by the receiver to beat his man downfield. And that was Peruccio and Denver South all of a sudden in the red zone.
And they'll mark that all the way down at the 5, so a 60-yard play. Capra quickly to the line, takes the high snap, gives it to Early. Early cuts up the field, and he's met shy of the goal line. And a pickup there of only a couple yards for Early. 2:35 and counting here in this quarter.
Yeah, and if you're Denver South, you got to respond after giving up the long touchdown to Erie. And if you're the Tigers, you got to come up with a stop.
Remember, the Ravens are without Rashad Codwell, their leading receiver. And that was a play where Blake Barnett was off the field. They read that and took advantage. Up the middle goes Capra, and he is swallowed up. In the middle there for the Tigers was Keaton Strange and Jackson Kogel closing down the hole, and that'll bring it 3rd and goal. And now a timeout is called with 2:04 by the Erie defense.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, after the big play on the first play of the drive, Tigers have forced Denver South to come up with a 3rd down conversion.
Tiger fans, we would love for you to partner with us a number of ways. You can partner with us on our Patreon by supporting us for as little as $1 a month. You can sponsor a segment for $25 a month. You can join our swag club even for $40 a month. You get like tote bags and bumper stickers, but really you help support a great program. Or you can just donate to the Erie Tiger Network straight up. That's a tax-exempt donation. Through the school and RevTrack. You can pay for an athlete shout-out or donate by clicking the St. Vrain RevTrack link in the description. And if you'd like to do an athlete shout-out, we still have yet to have one. We'll eventually get one up. We just got to get 1 or 2, and then the floodgates will open. We hope so anyway. So 3rd and goal here from the 4-yard line. Capra in the shotgun, takes a snap, rolls to his right, looking in the end zone. Had a man open the back, but the Tigers get back there. Jace Onstead got back there, and Jackson Kogel cleaned it up. And a big sack on 3rd and goal, and another timeout here from Erie.
And what a huge stand from the Tigers defense on the goal line. And great downfield coverage by the defensive backs, and great job getting to the quarterback before he could get it away. and that forces 4th and goal from the 14.
If you look downfield, there was a man open in the back of the end zone, and Capra just did not pull the trigger. I don't know if it was his first read or what, and then Olmstead came in and Kogel cleaned it up. So 4th and goal from the 12. I already see that Lindenbaum is in the huddle, so you got to expect him. As a kicker, a right-footed kicker, the worst hash to kick on is the right hash, but a fairly short kick for a kicker we've already seen. He's got a big leg.
Yeah, and I think this is a good call from Denver South to just take the 3 points. Tigers didn't do that a couple times. They went to the red zone, but looks like Denver South is not going to make the same mistake.
Snap good, hold good, kick is up, and it is good. Just snuck in the left upright there, and the Ravens cut this to a 4-point contest, but 1:47 remaining in the quarter. Remember, Erie gets the ball to start half number 2, so this is a huge moment in this game for both teams. If you're Denver South, it feels almost like a must stop, and if you're Erie, can you take advantage of having some time on the clock, scoring, and then you get the ball back to start the second half? So, you know, this is one of those times where even though it's the second quarter, the game could be decided here on this drive.
Yeah, the Tigers came up with a stop on the first drive of the game for Denver South, and that has definitely come into factor with the teams trading scores and trading turnovers or changes of possession.
So now we will see Lindenbaum kick this one off high into the Denver Knight. This is going to be fielded at about the 1. Return plunging into the middle, and the Tigers, they were mauling a Raven. 2 of the Tigers. The Raven fans don't like that. Tigers were trying to play to the whistle. I don't know if they called that a hold or an unnecessary roughness, but a flag here, I think, coming against Erie.
Yeah, and the Denver South fans definitely unhappy, maybe at the officials, maybe at Erie. Definitely a long discussion here between the officials. And one thing I would like to note, Tiger fans have shown up for this game. There's plenty of people that have come out to bear the cold night and watch their team play some playoff football.
They will ultimately call that a hold on Erie. So the return came out to about the 22 or 23, and that will back up Erie to the, what is that, the 12? And we just saw Erie go 95 yards, and now on this one they'd have to go 88 in 1:41. So Barnett in the shotgun with Kana. He's got 4 wide here in the formation, and that's going to be a false start, I think. The Denver South Ravens definitely jumped offside, but Kana, well, let's see. They will call that
offsides, yeah.
And perhaps maybe it's because Kana, I'm actually not sure procedurally. It's kind of what happened first maybe, but Kana started to move in the backfield at the same time that the Ravens jumped. So 1st and 5, Barnett takes a deep drop, throws it over the middle, dropped a dime in there was Blake Barnett and hits his receiver over the middle of the field all the way up to the 37. That was Kana out of the backfield on the nice catch. A pickup of 20 for the Tigers. Quickly to the line of scrimmage, 1.5 minutes remaining here in the quarter. Barnett trying to get the Tigers set, gets the snap, looks downfield. Now he's flush from the pocket, still throws underneath. That one is a nice diving catch there by Lettuce across midfield down to the Raven 48, and the Tigers quickly in 2 plays are over midfield.
Yeah, and that was a great catch from Lettuce.
Now Barnett checks in with the sideline. 1:13 remaining here in the half. O'Brien, the receiver here on the near side, trips to the top of the formation or the wide side of the field. Now Barnett drops back to pass. Looking. He's going to roll, keeps his eyes downfield, throws it against the grain. It's bobbled and caught by Meredith, and there is a flag. I don't know if this is going to be on O'Brien on a offensive pass interference pick play, if they say he got illegally contacted down the field. But there was a pretty big collision between Donovan O'Brien and a defensive back for the Ravens. And I think this is coming back. A pass interference offense. So on the crossing route, they'll say that O'Brien went after the defender instead of just running his route. That's a tough one because that's going to back up Erie way back. A 15-yarder for the Tigers with 53 seconds left. Tigers, I believe, only have one timeout, if I recall correctly.
If that. Not sure if they used one in the first quarter.
So 1st and a mile. Barnett takes the snap, rolls to his right, looking downfield, fires a deep comebacker. That was Alex Sweeney, who's back in action for the Tigers, his first game of action back, and that one picked up 14 of the 15 yards they lost on the penalty, and that'll bring up 2nd and 11.
Yeah, and a good job by Sweeney to get out of bounds there and stop the clock.
So 2nd and 11, 41 seconds left here in the half. Barnett with 2 wide to each side. Takes the snap, looking, fires down the middle again, intercepted. Coming over, making the interception was Headland, and they're also, I think, going to call a holding call on the defender. Connor was trying to get open. No, I thought the referee was signaling a hold, but they'll call that just an interception. They came together, I guess, conference to see if he caught it. Let's see if we can even take another look at that one.
And Coach Geiger definitely a little bit unhappy on that. But with 35 seconds, a turnover's a turnover, but that's not the worst turnover that could have happened for the Tigers.
And by the way, that wasn't a hold if we look back on the replay. The question really was it a catch? And that's going to be impossible to tell from our one camera angle, but the referee said it was, so we will trust them and take their word for it. 1st and 10 here for the Ravens, and now they have a little bit of time left. Let's see if they dial up something deep. Stepping up is Capra. Capra is sandwich and another sack. I believe that's the 3rd of the night for the Tigers, and now a timeout called by the Ravens. So they still want to stay aggressively here with 27 seconds left to go in the first half.
Yeah, and I don't blame them. Trailing by 4, and the Tigers get the ball on the other side of the half. If you're the Ravens and you score here, this game stays close. And if the Tigers come up with a stop, they could potentially take a 2-possession lead coming out of the half.
Here's that throw again. Barnett he dropped one nicely in there earlier in the drive. That's just a dangerous little pass. It's a floater on a seam route. If you don't drop that in a bucket, it could be intercepted, and that one was. So 27 seconds left. And the Ravens wanted to stay aggressive here, Dylan. I'm a little bit surprised just after the first play. Not so much that they were aggressive on that first play, but after taking the sack. So let's see what Erie does here. 3-man front. Capra looking, thought about loading up a deep ball, fires it down the center of the field, and oh man, that was dangerous. Blake Barnett and Braylon Tolliver and Lusk were kind of all in the vicinity there.
Yeah, and the first incompletion for Joseph Capra tonight. He, prior to that, had been 6 for 6 with 99 unofficial passing yards. And when the Ravens have opted to go to the air, it has been good.
3rd down and 11. And with 22 seconds left, beg your pardon. Capra will run the delay, and early gets dropped. And on 4th and really long here, with 15 seconds left, thought maybe the Tigers might make Denver South punt this with a timeout of their own. I don't know if they're out, though. They don't indicate timeouts on the scoreboard that I can see, but that will do it. So at the end of one half of play, the Tigers holding on to a 4-point lead, 14-10. We'll take a timeout here on the Erie Tiger Network.
If you ever wanted to support the Erie Tiger Network, the student media arm of Erie High School, well now you can. We have set up a Patreon page. There's a way for you to send us a monthly pledge in order to provide funding for the program as well as get access to reward tiers. As a Tiger fan, you get the satisfaction of knowing you are helping out your favorite local media organization. As a member of the ETN fan club, you are officially recognized on air and can receive ETN goodies throughout the year. As an in-broadcast red sponsor, you get to sponsor a specific segment of any broadcast. For more information, email bird_brandon at sbbsd.org. This is a $25 per month commitment. As an appreciator of Erie's live broadcast with the weekly news, you can help support this program by becoming one of our patrons by going to bit.ly/ETNPatreon.
Do you have a plan in place for your family's future in the event something happens to you? Are you caring for aging parents, grandparents, or a loved one with special needs? The Germany law firm named 2017 Erie's Chamber Business of the Year provides expert legal guidance and peace of mind for you and your family in the areas of probate, elder law, and estate planning. Visit Germany Law Firm's Erie Village office or website at coelderlaw.net to set up a personalized consultation.
We are strong and we'll get through this together, but these are stressful times. Reach out to someone, connect with your friends, and know that you are not alone. Visit wearebroadcasters.com/hope, furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Do you have a plan in place for your family's future in the event something happens to you? Are you caring for aging parents, grandparents, or a loved one with special needs? The Germany law firm named 2017 Erie's Chamber Business of the Year provides expert legal guidance and peace of mind for you and your family in the areas of probate, elder law, and estate planning. Visit Germany Law Firm's Erie Village office or website at coelderlaw.net to set up a personalized consultation.
And welcome back in, Erie Tiger Network, into the Teachers Who Tutor halftime show. Teachers Who Tutor is a teacher-created company located in Erie. They tutor students K through 12 in all subject areas. All tutors are certified teachers. They find the perfect match for your child's needs. If you're trying to get your kiddo up to grade level, extend their learning, prep for the SAT, they're here for you. Contact them today at teacherswhotutor.biz. Well, the Denver South cheer team out there performing on the field right now. Here are some halftime numbers for you. The Tigers, 97 yards through the air. Blake Barnett, he is, 6 of 11 for 97 yards, a touchdown and an interception. And that first pass of the game was his touchdown. It was a 49-yarder. 171 yards on the ground for the Tigers. Trey Khanna has 81. Gavin Lusk with 18. Blake Barnett with 72, including that 41-yard touchdown scamper. Caden Lettuce has 2 catches for 65 yards. Trey Khanna, 2 catches for 25. Alex Sweeney, a catch for 14. Mason Kogel, a catch for 15. Kaveh Meredith, a catch for 8. And Gavin Lusk, a catch for no yards. For the Ravens, Joseph Capra, 6 of 7 for 99 yards. On the ground, Capra has 4 yards rushing. That's 4 yards rushing on 9 carries, by the way. The Tigers have done a good job dropping him in the backfield on some pass plays. Orlando Guevara, 1 carry for 14 yards, and Chevelle Early, 12 carries for 72 yards, 90 yards rushing in total for the Ravens. And three of the catches, rather, for Denver South, Jake Percuccio, 3 catches for 80 yards. Danford had the 10-yard touchdown catch, and that's kind of where we're at. Very unofficial stats, but that's always the case every week. Tell you what, Dylan's trying to do that and call color. That's honestly the hardest job, because your job when you're calling color is to take stuff after the play-by-play. I usually do stats because I call play-by-play, and then I can add up and crunch numbers while he's talking. And so you're pulling double duty, Dylan. That's not easy to do.
Well, something we need to be done. Definitely adds a lot to what we're doing. I will say, Tigers, their passing attack has definitely gone away as the game has gone on. They had the 49 on the first play of the game. That's more than half of their overall passing yards so far. The running game has been really solid, though. They've been getting consistently positive yards. They've only had 1 play that is negative, and that was Trey Khanna's second run. And if you're the Tigers, with the cold, that definitely limits your passing attack, and that's okay because your running game has been strong tonight.
All right, well, let's take a look at some of the highlights here. And let's see, can we play selected? Is that going to the output? Yes, it is. And saw the Tigers, they made a stop early in the game on the 3rd and short. And we queued that up a couple times for whatever reason. They would get the ball back, and there's the 49-yard pass play. A little roll right, pass back to the left, and good camera work there by Dylan Donahue on that one. Tigers then, they would pin Denver South way back on a kick that was picked up at the 2 and returned to about the 6 or 7, and then Denver South also had a penalty, but a big run kind of got things in, or rather, and then you saw the fumble there. The missed opportunity there on 4th down, a couple missed opportunities there. Blake Barnett punching out the football there. That one was on the turf, picked up by Denver South. Kind of a weird little part of that game. And we didn't quite catch all the big plays, but there's a nice big run there by Trey Khanna. I believe that was of about 30 yards or so. And then you saw Blake Barnett house one there from 41, just using that excellent speed and power there at the end to take that one into the end zone. And then a big 3rd and goal play here, and the Tigers pick up a sack, and that would force Denver South to kick a field goal. And then there's the play at the end of the half, the interception there by Blake Barnett. And that is where we stand right now in this one. Erie 10, Denver South, or Erie 14, Denver South 10. All right, so hope we kind of caught you back up as you've been watching the Teachers Who Tutor halftime show. In the playoffs, halftime always a little bit elongated here. The clock still showing about 6.5 minutes. And you know what? While we have a moment, Dylan, let's look at Grant Hakimi's keys to the game for both teams. Erie's number one key was stopping the run in the run game, and you look at Denver South's stats through this one so far, 90 yards rushing. How would you grade their performance?
I think the run defense has been pretty good. Most of Denver South plays have been chunk yardage. Chevelle Early, 72 yards, 54 of those are on one run. And, well, Tigers have been good other than a couple of big plays.
And then he said spread the ball around on offense. I think they've done that pretty well. You mentioned the passing game has been a little bit stymied, but 3 different backs getting some carries. Lusk with 18 yards, and you have Kana and Barnett both over 70 yards. And then you have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different receivers have caught a ball for the Tigers.
Yeah, I think Tigers have spread the ball around, and it's definitely loosened up the offense. One of the big the touchdown that Blake Barnett had was because of a little bit of miscommunication on the defensive side, but I think they have kept the defense for Denver South on their toes tonight.
And he said no penalties, and really Denver South has been bitten with a penalty bug here tonight. That's cost them a couple times.
Yeah, that might be partially because of the bye week, the week off. Mental game maybe dropped a little bit, but that has been a big part. The Tigers got their first touchdown because of a penalty by Denver South.
All right, you see some of the Denver South. He said control the line of scrimmage. That's been up and down. What's really surprised me more than anything this game, Dylan, is the pass rush for Erie has gotten to Capra.
Yeah, the Tigers had, I believe, it was 3 sacks on 3 of 4 dropbacks, and Capra running the ball in terms of being sacked or running the ball has had 4 straight negative plays, and you could credit him with a turnover for that fumble. And I think the Tigers have limited Denver South's control of the line of scrimmage in this game.
The interesting note there is he said target safeties down the middle of the field. Now, the one big pass play in the game for Denver South, the 60-yarder was the play where Blake Barnett was on the sideline.
Yeah, and definitely maybe a little bit of not what I expected. I expected Barnett to be the weaker safety of the two, but when he went off, they got that big play, set him up. I believe they only got a field goal off of that play, but that definitely has contributed to the 10 points that Denver South has gotten.
By the way, some scores from around the 4A playoffs, at least as reported so far. And remember, this game started at 6 o'clock, which is about an hour ahead of where a slew of other games started. Already, Loveland leads Dakota Ridge 7-0 in the first quarter. Montrose on top 7-0 over Golden in the first quarter. Ponderosa and Pueblo West, they are tied at 14 in the second quarter. The winner of this game will get the winner of that game, and this is the first year in the bracket that the high seed hosts throughout the playoffs. So if you're an Erie fan hoping that they win this game, you're kind of rooting for Pueblo West because that means Erie would host Pueblo West next weekend, who, if Ponderosa wins, either of these teams, whoever wins, would head to Ponderosa for that matchup next weekend.
Yeah, well, either of those matchups, potential matchups, if the Tigers were to win this game, are big. If you play Pueblo West, you get a home game. You get another home game in the quarterfinal as an 11 seed, always surprising. If you play Ponderosa, that's a revenge game from the first game of the season with Ponderosa, with their quarterback. That could be a big game as well.
By the way, in 5A, Legacy leads Pine Creek 7-0 in the first quarter. Regis Jesuit leads Fossil Ridge 14-7. That one in the second quarter. Those are the only 2 games reported so far. Roosevelt leading Discovery Canyon 14-0 in the 3A ranks. Green Mountain, who the Tigers saw a couple times in the playoffs over the last 5 years, they are leading 7-0 over Resurrection Christian. Lutheran leading Pueblo East 7-0, and Frederick up in the mountains, they lead Summit at halftime 14-7.
That's got to be a cold one.
That has got to be a real chilly one. We are going to take one more time out. When we come back, we will have half number 2 here on the Erie Tiger Network.
For the card-carrying fan, get your CU Visa debit card. so you can take the game with you. Free with First National Bank's free checking.
Sherry Bond is your hometown real estate expert who has passionately been helping people develop winning game plans for their home goals since 1994. Her offense and defense are bar none when it comes to negotiations. Sherry believes honesty and compassion are the keys to seller service. With hundreds of happy clients, you can be confident that when you are working with Sherry Bond, you are working with a team player that truly cares about you for life.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Go to where your friends are. Go to where the action's at. Go find your sense of adventure. Go Airheads, Airsoft Field and Store located in Erie, Colorado. Go Airheads and go Tigers.
You are watching the ETN. You are watching the ETN.
And welcome back in, Erie Tiger Network, as we're about a minute and a half away here from the start of half number 2. This third quarter is brought to you by 3M Farms, Erie's homegrown or hometown growing nursery just north of Colliers Hill on Road 3. They've always got all kinds of different things for the holidays. You know, I need to check in with the Merckx fam and see if they're going to load up the lot with Christmas trees here this year. But either way, be sure to check them out. Locally owned, locally grown. Visit 3M Farms in Erie today. And we are about a minute away from the start of half number 2. The Erie Tigers will start with the ball. And in these playoff games, Dylan, it just lives in my brain. Got to watch for the onside kick.
Yeah, definitely never a surprise in the playoffs. Would never be a surprise in the playoffs to see an onside kick. Though this would be, in my opinion, one of the few times where I would be surprised to see Denver South kicking the onside kick here. Their defense has been pretty strong so far, aside from a couple of big plays. I mean, anything can happen, though.
By the way, if you are an Erie fan and you're hoping they win this game, you do especially want to root for Pueblo West because the likelihood that the NFHS picks up that quarterfinal game in Erie is a little bit lower. I actually think that Ponderosa may have an NFHS program. I don't totally remember. So if you want to watch this game for free next week, definitely pull in that Pueblo West pulls off the upset there. Well, the Tigers will come out to receive the ball here in half number 2. As the Ravens set to kick this one. Tigers will go left to right here to start this half. And this one will be sent high into the night and in there for a touchback. You know, the flag in the stadium doesn't show much wind, but when the kickers have been kicking toward the north, they've gotten a little more distance on it than when kicking toward the south. So I'm not sure if maybe a little bit of a breeze kind of drifting in that way.
If you're the Tigers, you need to come up with a score here, whether it be 3 or 7. Any points on this drive are big.
So Barnett, first play from the line of scrimmage, takes the snap. He'll hand it off. Kana will let a couple men slide by, and then just a nice little smooth play there by Trey Kana. Man, he played so well in that game last week against Air Academy. A big game for him. He was our Worth Chiropractic player of the game. And gets a nice little 5-yard pickup there on first down. Barnett takes the snap, runs read again. He's going to keep it himself up the middle this time, breaks through a tackle, and then he got pelted from behind. But the speed of Barnett, he picked up 8 yards in the blink of an eye before he was smacked from behind. And a first down for the Tigers.
And a good job by Blake there, running the read, finding the gap in the defense, and picking up the first down for the Tigers.
Kind of that almost little inverted veer that the Baltimore Ravens like to run there with Lamar Jackson. Now read option, give to Kana, step through an arm tackle. Good push by the Tiger O-line. Kana wasn't touched till about a couple yards. I mean, he was dropped pretty quickly there, but good push there by the Tiger front. Only a couple yards on the pickup, but 2nd and 8. Barnett checking in with the sideline. Tigers go run, run, run to start this half. Takes the snap, rolls to his left. He's going to pull it himself, and good piece of tackling there. Barnett, it looked like he had a head of steam. He plunged into where a couple purple jerseys were, and his momentum just kind of got stymied right away. Tried to follow big Logan Gilmore up the left side, and now it's 3rd and long.
And a good stop by the Ravens defense to force 3rd and long here for the Tigers.
So Barnett, single coverage here on the near side. Man in motion, gonna look. Now he'll step out of a tackle, runs back the other way, still on his feet, throws downfield, fingertip catch by Caden Lettuce. Excellent athletic play by Blake Barnett, and a fantastic catch by Caden Lettuce up to midfield.
Yeah, I don't know how Blake did not get dropped for a sack there, but great downfield eyes to find Lettuce in the middle of the field, or excuse me, on the side of the field, and pick up the first down for the Tigers.
So 1st and 10 for Erie at the Ravens 49. Man, what a play that was. Tigers were quickly the line of scrimmage, so we didn't show the replay, but we have it, and when we have a moment, we will try and show you that, because that was a dandy. Now Barnett up to the line. Big play there for the Tigers. Takes the snap. Gives it up the middle. A nice burst of speed by Trey Kana. And he'll pick up about 7 or 8 on first down.
Yeah, and the Tigers have definitely built a little bit of momentum after that play by Barnett. 2 big chunk yardage gains there for the Tigers.
So 2nd and short here for Erie. 8:52 and counting. Good first opening drive for the Tigers here. Trying to put this to a 2-score game for the first time tonight. Barnett takes the snap, throws the bubble. It's Ronan Ward. Ward makes one man miss, and a good little burst there by Ronan. His first catch of the night, and he has enough for a first down. Needed 3, picked up 4, and the Tigers have a fresh set of downs at the Raven 38. Roden, one of those players that we did not see on offense in the first kind of half of the season, the sophomore backup quarterback. And we have seen him emerge as a real weapon in the quick game for the Tigers. Barnett checks in with the sideline. Now we'll adjust the play. 8:03 and counting here in this third quarter. Barnett, and almost thought there was early movement. I was going to say I thought there was some early movement on the Tigers, but hard to hear the whistle up here. These windows have done a good job of keeping out the cold and keeping out the sound. So that'll back Erie behind the sticks here.
Really one of the first time Tigers have been behind the sticks in this game.
So Barnett takes the snap, catches it with one hand, delay, giving to Kana. He's got a big gap, and he'll weave his way through the defense, and another penalty. This one's in the backfield, and I think this is going to be a hold on the Tigers. And so it'll go from bad to worse here for Erie. Man, you had such a good drive going, and now it's about to be first and, 27 or so? Ooh.
Yeah, and that was a really great call by the Tigers. Kana had a ton of space, but the holding negates it. Now they have to come up with a long first down.
7.5 minutes in this third quarter. Single coverage on Donovan O'Brien. I wouldn't be surprised if they took a deep shot to him. He's got some wheels. Barnett, he'll throw it out of the backfield, and Kana, that was red, and he absorbed a big hit. The Tigers stuck in reverse here in the last 3 plays.
Yeah, and that's the first time Tigers have gone negative in the pass game, and now first and long becomes second and longer.
Scoreboard showing second and about 28. Barnett hanging in there, throws that seam route. There's a flag in the middle of the field. Meredith was trying to emerge open. He was bear hugged there in the middle. I think that was Andrew Shepard, the sophomore linebacker that was holding on to Cave. And big penalty, much needed for the Tigers. So a hold on Denver South. And that, I'm trying to remember, man, I get so caught up in the college and pro rules, Dylan. Is that an auto first?
I don't think so. I think it's going to end up being second and 18 or so.
Okay, second and 19. I didn't think it was a first down. Just want to make sure before I said something stupid, which often happens on this broadcast. Second and 19 now. Barnett runs a little option play. He'll tuck it himself. And then Denver South, they did a really good job of just staying disciplined, seeing Blake run that out. And no real where for Blake to run or pitch the ball there. Now it's third and a mile.
Yeah, definitely a strange call, running option to the short side of the field. And now Tigers got to come up with a conversion here on third and a mile.
You're Erie. You don't have to maybe get all 18, especially with their propensity to go for it on this side of the field. But you got to pick up something decent here. Barnett, he's going to run the draw play. Barnett has a head of steam. Barnett is wrapped up, and man, Barnett, it looked like he might go off to the races, and then he was drug out of bounds, and the Tiger fans are incredulous right now that was late. I don't think there was anything in that out of bounds. But they did pick up a big chunk there. They turned that from third and 18 to fourth and about 7 or 8. So now a big decision here. You're kind of in no man's land, and Tigers will probably go for it. And the chain is tangled up out there. And one thing you don't like to see, Blake stretching out his hammy just a little bit after that one. Long discussion here. Tigers are going to use this as a chance to huddle up. So 4th and 9 after it's all said and done. And you're too close to punt. You're too far to kick a field goal. This is the right call. You might see a pooch punt here. Meredith in motion. Barnett's going to take the snap. They're trying to set up the screen. Kana has it. He has all kinds of room. He's got the first down across the 30, the 20, and he will be tackled around his shoelaces at the 5. The Tigers and Coach Skip Harrison dials up the perfect play at the perfect time, and the Tigers pop a big one 32 yards into Raven territory.
Yeah, and Kana just had nobody between him and the line to gain, and then gets a ton of yards after contact and gets the Tigers into the red zone.
So here come the Tigers. Blake under center. He's going to get it, runs the sneak himself left side, twists back, and not much going that time for Erie.
Yeah, and that was a great job by the Tigers to convert after first down and second down from a long ways away.
Tigers really taking their time here. 5:02 remaining here in this quarter. Remember, they have been the only ones to possess the ball here in the quarter. They've chewed through 7 minutes of clock. Barnett, another sneak. This time uses the power and rumbles into the end zone. And was the ball popped loose? Barnett saying that he stuck it over the goal line. He's celebrating. The officials, I think, are going to say it's a fumble. And they give, I don't know what they give. Did they signal touchdown? Tigers score. Okay, they did signal touchdown. And we'll try and look at that one on our replay. And so the point after attempt, the Tigers to go up 2 scores here. Harner. Will squeeze this one through the pipes. 21-10. Let's take a look at that last touchdown and see what we can see. Barnett trying to power it, and I tell you what, there is way too much humanity in there from our one camera angle to see what the heck was going on. We'll take one more look, but that was not easy to figure out. In fact, we'll use our little shuttle. We'll go frame by frame here. You see Barnett with the ball. Barnett was met near the goal line, and
he must have fumbled it in that mass before or right next to the goal line, and that's where the confusion was, I believe.
And I don't see where the ball comes out. Well, we'll go back to live. Tigers will pooch this one deep, and it will check into the end zone. So 2-score game here for the Tigers. That was a big one. That drive for the Tigers took 7 minutes and 14 seconds off the clock. That's got to be their longest drive of the season.
Oh, easily. Their offense has been high tempo. That drive was characterized by a lot of penalties and a big pickup on a long 3rd down and a 4th down conversion. And if you're the Tigers defense, a stop here is a huge part of the game. This is a big drive if you're Denver South.
Capra, first drive of the half. We'll see what halftime adjustments they've made, as there's a handoff and a nice play. Submarining in there for the Tigers was, I think that was Jace Onstead that made the tackle. And no gain on the play there for Early. Now a flare out here to the near side. That one is gathered, and up the sideline goes Orlando Guevara. And kind of a storyline in this game is that Rashad Codwell not playing for Denver South. As we understand, he got shaken up in that last game for Denver South of the season. Now, we saw him dress, but he has not made an appearance in the game so far. And that might loom large for the Ravens. There's the snap. Quick pitch and catch a bobble, and there's Derek Hall, who's converted to outside linebacker and makes a big play there for the Tigers. And that will force a 3 and out. And another Raven was shaken up on the play. And I'm trying to see who that is. And if you're the Ravens, you hope that is not Capra. Nope, he's there on the sideline. I don't think that is Capra. That might be just a Charlie horse. At least in kind of the, what do you call that yoga pose? The upward dog? The downward dog? Cat? I don't know, but trying to maybe stretch out the calves a little bit. And I think it was the player that caught the pass. That was Orlando Guevara. And so 4th and long, and he's going to be helped off the field by his teammate, Chevelle Early. And this Denver South team, they have had a special season, the 6th seed, 9-1. They have romped offensively. Coach Geiger, he is a defensive coach. If there is anyone that is going to be prepared before a game for a team's offense, it's going to be Coach Geiger. He is just a defensive mind in the film room, and he has these Tigers prepared tonight for this one. And there's a block. That one was tipped. It's going to land at the 30, and the Tigers, it takes a huge Erie bounce. They're going to have great field position all the way back at the 27-yard line.
And just nothing going Denver South's way right now. And the Tigers get great field position. And I'm going to say if the Tigers score here, it's going to be real tough for Denver South to come back in this game. As Denver South, on their punt, they only have the one man guarding the punter, and the Tigers just broke through and got a hand on that, and that's a big play.
Coach Kneebone got to be pumped after that. If you remember, the Tigers started this season on a sour special teams note, and they've gotten better week in, week out. 21-10. Barnett, he's going to throw the fade route to the end zone. It's, dropped. It was in the hands of the defender. He was trying to get Josh Levine, and that was perfect coverage there by Demaje Wells, I believe, and he just couldn't quite haul it in for the interception.
Yeah, and that was a great defensive play by Josh Levine, and I think Blake thought Levine was going to break out into the open field a little bit more than he did, but as you said, great coverage there by the defensive back, and that was really lucky that it didn't go back the other way for Denver South.
So 2nd and 10, the Tigers trying to take the shot after the turnover, or rather blocked punt. There's the snap, give to Lusk, steps in and out of the hole, now finds some open field, swimming through arm tackles, and Blake Barnett pumped up as a nice little run there for Gavin Lusk, breaking multiple tackles. A 12-yard pickup for Gavin on 2nd down, and a fresh set of downs here for the Tigers. And the Tigers looking to pounce here with 3 minutes and counting in this 3rd quarter.
Yeah, and that's been the story of the game. Pouncing on turnovers. Tigers have gotten a lot of help from the turnover side. They turned over the ball on downs twice, but the fumble that Denver South had after the Tigers turned over on downs was huge, and the block punt could deem huge in this game.
Another handoff up the middle, and a short pickup there. I think that was Kana on the carry that time. He'll pick up just a couple. We're now 2nd and 9 here for the Tigers. Barnett quickly to the line, and 2 by 2 go the receivers. Khan in the backfield with Barnett. Tigers have just said, I thought the ball was on the turf the way that Barnett reacted, and then he made a heck of a move and a cut to get positive yards out of that, and heck, he turned that into about a 5-yard pickup there.
Yeah, that was odd. I think Blake pulled the read option out and looked to make a man miss, but the angle we had on it made it look like there was a little bit of a weird transfer between himself and Kana.
From our angle, I think it was just our angle. It looked like he was looking for the ball like it was on the turf. I think he just was looking to make a move. But that fooled us up here in the booth. 3rd and 4 now for the Tigers, taking their time a little bit. Minute 43, and I'm not sure why the clock has stopped. Now the official will roll it. I think maybe a player was shaken up out there. Barnett in the shotgun. Takes the snap, runs to the right, pitches. It's on the turf, and Kana will kind of corral it out of bounds. That's going to be close to a first down. Not quite. They need to get to about the 7.5 or so, and that's going to be on the 9. So a couple yard pickup there for the Tigers. And again, they ran the option to the short side of the field.
Yeah, and this is a big play. If you're the Tigers, I would almost take your 3 and go up a clean 14, but Coach Geiger's going to be aggressive and try and go up 3 scores.
Big moment here for this Ravens team. Can stay in it with a big play here. Barnett takes it. He's going to power it himself. He stretches for it, and that is going to be close. Denver South doesn't think he's got it. I think, man, that is going to be really close. They marked him inside the little 18-yard box where the soccer goalie box is, and I'm trying to see, it obviously doesn't extend out to the sideline. That might have to be measured. Denver South pointing that they stopped him, Erie pointing that they got it, and we're going to measure. And this will maybe be the most dramatic measurement that we've had on the Erie Tiger Network.
Yeah, that was definitely a little bit odd from Blake. It was first and a long 1, short 2, and he went for the keeper and went to jump over, and this is going to be a big measurement here.
Your Coach Harrison or Coach Geiger, that's where you might, and it looks like the Tigers got it by about half the football. If you're Blake, that's one of those, I think, you just stay on your feet and grind the feet instead of leave the feet, and then once you get met, all momentum stops. Worked out in the end, though. And hard to criticize the defending first-team All-State quarterback when he continues to make plays all throughout the season.
Yeah, that's a gutsy call from Coach Geiger.
1st and goal from the 7. Barnett in the shotgun, takes the snap, gives it. That's Kana, just kind of trying to follow blockers, and then he gets kind of slingshotted back down to the turf, but he will pick up a couple down to the 5. So 2nd and goal from the 5 here. That's what we mentioned last week. The Tigers, they're one weakness, I think the last couple of weeks have been getting yardage in short situations. Goal to go situations or 3rd, 4th, and short situations. Barnett takes it, rolls to his left, looking, fires it, intercepted. Bad read there, and this is going back the other way, and Barnett tried to go up and make a big play, and he's upset with himself. And I don't know what Mason Kogel is doing. He just jumped on the top of the pile, and that's going to draw a flag. That was not a smart play.
And the 4th down conversion is for naught, as Blake just throws it right to the defensive back for Denver South, and that is a big stop for the Ravens, and that keeps them in this game with 14 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Tigers have burned a lot of clock in this second half so far.
We have seen Blake throw against the grain a couple times, and in that instance, anytime you throw against the grain, it's tough. When you throw against the grain inside the 5, there's going to be bodies there.
Yeah, and that was one where maybe he saw the little bit of, I think that defender had a white sweatshirt on, maybe saw it, thought it was an Erie jersey, but regardless, big turnover in this game.
14 seconds left in the third. Capra, he's going to keep it himself. Stutters at the line. The Tigers, man, they have really defended the run pretty well here. And no gain on the play, and that will be the last play of the third quarter. So the Tigers are on the brink of going up 3 scores. Instead, it's a 2-score game, 21-10. We'll head to the fourth quarter here on the Erie Tiger Network.
Do you want a better smile, have a broken bracket, or are you a teenager in need of some braces? Then make your way down to Caraway Orthodontics. They are located in Louisville and Erie. Caraway Orthodontics supports Erie High School and its community. Come in and gain a beautiful smile for children, teens, and adults. They also provide Invisalign. Call this number 303-828-0454 or go to carawayortho.com.
You know that feeling you get when your life is about to change? It's terrifying, sure, but isn't it exciting? You may not.
Welcome back in. Start of quarter number 4. Erie leads at 21-10. Huge play for Denver South. And now they're going to throw here out of the timeout. Curl route in the middle. Oh, and a great play by Preston Terranova. He read that, dove, and knocked it away. And by the way, in the game is Rashawn Caldwell. So they tried to get the ball to him, and after one play, he'll come off the field. And clearly just not fully healthy, and that's unfortunate for the Ravens as he has been an explosive player all season. 3rd and long here for the Ravens offense. Tigers trying to make amends for the mistake inside the 5. Low snap. Capra looking to throw, fires, tipped, and it's knocked away. Ravens wanted a interference call, but that was tipped well beforehand, and that'll bring up 4th and long, and a punt for the Ravens upcoming here.
And that is a huge play by Logan Quinn after the turnover. A quick 3-and-out for the Tigers, and they're going to get the ball back only half a minute after turning the ball over. And that was a big stand from the Tigers defense. They have been really strong against a really good Denver South team.
Yeah, you mentioned that Logan Quinn on that play got his paw up there and knocked it down. And a timeout coming from the Tigers. Let's take another look at that replay. As Quinn just dropping into the zone and got up there and knocked it away. And if you're Denver South, 11:51 left. It's a 2-score game. The Tigers have run the ball terrifically this game. A little bit surprised. They just have struggled, even though they've run the ball well, they've struggled running it in goal-to-go situations, in 3rd and 4th and shorts. They've rushed for 231 yards. That's 6.6 yards a carry that they've had in this game. But, man, they get in tight situations, and they've just struggled to execute in those moments.
Yeah, their last few runs have not gone for very far. They had a couple of 2-yard gains from Kana and Blake. And, well, that's definitely a big part of why Denver South is still in this game in the 4th quarter.
High snap, whoa, and a heck of a catch, and now a heck of a punt that's partially blocked. And so the Tigers get back there again, and again they will get great field position. And even though the Tigers have made mistakes, they have still been able to have Denver South make just 1 or 2 mistakes a little bit worse.
Yeah, and the punter, Max Lindenbaum for Denver South, is livid coming off the field, and I don't blame him. That's 2 punts in a row that the Tigers have gotten into the backfield for, and Tigers start at the 26. of Denver South.
And Lindenbaum made a spectacular play to avoid the first Tiger rusher. Now 1st and 10. Barnett gives it to Kana, and Kana will just kind of follow the wall of blockers and roll his way forward for a couple of yards. Denver South has done much better on the ground here in about the last 5 minutes or so. Tigers' last few runs have all been under 7 yards. 2nd and 8. Barnett in the shotgun. Barnett rolls to his right, looking to follow Kana. Barnett will pull it down, and Barnett fumbles the ball out of bounds. He took a heck of a shot. Tell you what, Barnett, he has been through the gauntlet this game. As the Tigers ask him maybe to carry the ball a little bit more, he has 110 yards on the ground. And he has delivered some shots, and he has taken some shots. 1st and 10, though, for the Tigers after that one. Barnett claps his hands, gives it to Kana. Kana trying to be patient before he squeezed through a hole, and then he picks up about 4 yards there on 1st down.
Yeah, this is a good job from the Tigers. Just keep the ball on the ground, keep the clock running. Clock is dipped under 11 minutes to go, and if the Tigers, even if they don't score here, the clock has run low enough that if you get one stop defensively, it's hard to see Denver South getting 2 possessions in a row.
Now Barnett really taking his time here. Claps his hands, runs read, keeps it himself, and he is met about 4 yards down the field. Good open field tackle, Chevelle early. And that is 2 premier athletes going head-to-head right there in the middle of the football field.
Yeah, and right here, this is a big play, 3rd down. Tigers would maybe go for it on 4th down. They've failed to convert in the red zone a lot, so you may see them take 3 if they don't get here on the 4th down, or on 3rd down, excuse me. But if Denver South comes up with a stop, it could be big.
3rd down and 3. We'll call it 4. Barnett takes a snap, runs power, drives the pile past the 1st down marker inside the 5, down to the 4-yard line. A 5-yard pickup there for Blake Barnett and this offense, which has just been a meat grinder of an offensive line tonight. 250 yards on the ground.
Yeah, if you're the Tigers, you got to come up with 6 here. This is the 3rd time that you've been inside the 5-yard line, and you only have 6 points to show for it. You got to come up with something.
So 1st and goal here for Erie. If you're Erie, do you consider run? Handoff up the middle. Kana gets hit between the tackles and twisted his way for a positive gain down to about the 1, a pickup of a couple.
And actually, when the Tigers have been inside the 5, so far they don't have any points to show for it, excuse me. They had a turnover on downs and then the interception. So Tigers looking to go 1 for 3 from inside the 5-yard line.
Second down and goal from the 1. Barnett hands it off up the middle, and Kana will be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. And Kana is shaken up on the play. He was sandwiched between 2 defenders. An injury timeout here for the Tigers. So timeout on the field. Just a reminder, Tigers, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the Erie Tiger Network. Check us out online at ErieTigerNetwork.com. And while Kana is on the field, we'll take a timeout here on the Erie Tiger Network.
know with certainty what lies ahead. But that's what makes life, well, life. And even when the scene in the rear view is hard to leave behind, take a deep breath, hold on tight, and remember, there's no better way to move than forward.
Jeff Foxworthy here. You know, if you've ever found yourself repeating the same thing for 75 years, you might be Smokey Bear.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Well, thing is, there's a lot more to say. Like if you've ever found yourself burning yard debris and then walking away, well, you might be starting a wildfire. So for the love of the outdoors, go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
Welcome back in, Erie Tiger Network. 8:03 remaining in the fourth quarter. Tigers have it 3rd and goal from about the half-yard line. Trey Kana really slow to get off the field, and we were kind of watching that play back, and man, he got his back wrenched in the middle of the pile. And you just hope he's okay because he has been such a strong player for the Tigers the last couple weeks. Now up the middle, Blake Barnett tried to get out of trouble, and he is stopped, and once again, the Tigers are stuffed on the goal line.
Man, oh man, if you're the Tigers, with 7:40, I feel like you take your 3, but Coach Geiger is going to stay aggressive.
Well, a touchdown probably puts this out of reach, especially the way you've been running the ball. Field goal is just a 2-possession game. I like it here. You'd have him back up. You got Blake Barnett, and Blake Barnett delivers, punches it into the end zone, and the Tigers lead it by 3 scores.
And that's Blake's 3rd rushing touchdown, but there's a flag down.
There is a flag down at the 1, and so this certainly changes the complexion of things. Was this the official? That, by the way, might have come in from the back judge. And the official coming to talk to Denver South, which kind of to me indicates that that's probably on Erie.
Blake is walking off. It is a touchdown. All right.
So it is a touchdown, dead ball, personal foul on Erie. Okay, so personal foul after the play, but the Tigers do deliver on 4th and goal from about the 2. And they're about to go up 18 here if Harner can deliver on this one. Snap is good, hold is good, the kick is up, and it is good, and the Tigers lead it 28-10. We'll take a quick timeout here on the Erie Tiger Network. Welcome back in, Erie Tiger Network. 7:16 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Tigers leading it 28-10. By the way, some scores from around 4A. Palmer Ridge leading Skyline 14-0. That one's in the first. Loveland over Dakota Ridge right now 21-7. Montrose up big 25-10 against Golden. Heritage in a tight one against Mesa Ridge 14-10. And at the start of the fourth quarter, Ponderosa clinging on to a 1-score lead. So right now, all the high seeds winning except for Denver South. Tigers will do that little onside poocher. Nice catch over the shoulder, Willie Mays style by Capra. He's going to return this one out toward the 30, up the sideline. He's got some running room, and he will finally trot out of bounds as he crosses the 40 up to the 43.
Yeah, and a good return there, setting up Denver South. They've got to score on this possession if they want any chance of winning this game.
So first down here for Denver South in a must-score situation. And Denver South, you know, we kind of predicted a high-scoring affair, and they've been held to 10 points. Hats off to Coach Geiger and his defense here this week.
Yeah, Tigers are the only team other than the far Northeast Warriors to hold this Denver South team to less than 20 points so far.
Capra in the shotgun here, takes the low snap, looks down the field, scans, trying to dial up the deep ball, and it is dropped. And a flag coming in. I don't know if they say that Tolliver tripped up the receiver just enough. There wasn't a whole lot of contact, but maybe just enough to draw the flag.
Yeah, and that was a great route by Jake Peruccio, beating Tolliver over the top, and a good pass by Capra to drop that in, and after the penalty, Denver South is going to be set up in Tiger territory.
Here's kind of into that play. I just didn't see much in the contact. Interesting. Big penalty there against Erie. 7:01 remaining here in the fourth quarter. 28-10 lead for Erie. This defense has anchored the Tigers tonight. Tiger defense a little bit confused. Now Capra is going to pass, looking, rolling out of the pocket. Flag coming in. There's going to be a hold behind the play. And so Capra's nice little scramble there, all for naught. That was Brendan Young that got held. Not sure which Denver South player. I think Chris Garcia is who they will call that on. Maybe Christian Castaneda. That 8 and the 0 looking pretty similar to each other. Either way, back-to-back big penalties by both teams.
Yeah, and first and 10 becomes first and 24. And that was a good run by Capra, but the holding negating that big play.
So first and real long here for Denver South. Capra in the shotgun takes the knee-high snap, rifles it downfield, and good coverage there on the play for the Tigers. That was Noah Garcia, the flying Hawaiian.
Yeah, and Garcia, I think, was a little lucky to get a hand on that, or he could have maybe been called for pass interference. Never got his head turned around to the ball, but regardless, Denver South has got to come up with some chunk yardage here on 2nd and 24.
Garcia, great kid. Likes to wear pink around school to honor his mom. And making a big play there for the Tigers. 2nd and 24. Thigh-high snap. Capra scrambling, pressure. He will get rid of it. Kind of a last-second little shovel pass. And helping him off the field is Onstead. And that'll bring up 3rd down. The Denver South coaches want a roughing call. They don't get it now. They're going to draw a personal foul of their own. I didn't think there was anything later malicious in there. That was inbounds. We'll run that into the play back so that you can see it. So there's Capra running near the sideline. Then he got rid of it kind of in the run of play. I mean, there just wasn't much in there. And Denver South coaches didn't appreciate it. Heck, even Jace Onstead came up and helped Capra off the field and tapped him on the helmet in a good show of sportsmanship. And now a 15-yard penalty on Denver South for the personal foul.
Yeah, and the passing game for Denver South has gone cold. After starting 6 for 6 with a lot of 99 yards, I believe. They have now gone, what is that? 7 for 15, and since going 6 for 6, only 2 yards through the air.
Third, and you need an abacus, all your fingers and toes, and then some to figure out this yardage. Nice little move there by Capra to get out of trouble, and now he will trot out of bounds. Picks up a nice gain of about 13 or so, but that is still well short. It was 3rd and 39 to go.
Yeah, and Denver South, on what was probably a must-score drive, is forced to go for it here on 4th and 26.
4th and 26. Here comes the pressure. Capra unloads the deep ball. Intercepted. Blake Barnett. Barnett will return this up the sideline. Across midfield. Barnett has open field. Barnett, one man to beat, and he will smartly trot out of bounds. And the Tigers, with 6:04 remaining, will have it 1st and 10 at the Denver South 17.
And this is 3 possessions in a row that the Tigers are going to start inside of Denver South's 30. And so far, they have come up with no points to show for it. Or, excuse me, they scored a touchdown on the last drive. Other than they had the interception and then the touchdown, and then this time, if they score here, this game is likely to get out of reach for Denver South.
So the Tigers on the brink of heading back to the quarterfinals. Last year they knocked off Palmer Ridge in those quarterfinals. Little jump cut there by Braylon Tolliver. And Tolliver will pick up maybe a yard. Ward will come out. Kogel will check in. Tiger's going to huddle up, and they're going to milk this clock for all it's worth. The clock is stopped. I don't know if there was a flag down. And that might have been a after the play penalty on Denver South. They are molten hot right now. And if you're Coach Marini, you just got to cool everyone down. 2nd and 1. Handoff. Lusk puts his foot in the ground, goes to the left, and dives down to the 2. 6-yard pickup there for Lusk. And the clock will continue to roll here. Barnett takes the snap, runs it to the left, and Barnett is swallowed up, but crosses the goal line for a touchdown. 2-yard touchdown run, Blake Barnett. And the Tigers are on the brink of winning another playoff game. Coach Geiger about to move to 5-1 in the playoffs as a Erie Tiger head coach. Snap is good, the kick is up, and it is good, and the Tigers lead it 35-10. We'll take a quick timeout here on the Erie Tiger Network.
Wanted to support the Erie Tiger Network, the student media arm of Erie High School? Well, now you can. We have set up a Patreon page. It's a way for you to send us a monthly pledge in order to provide funding for the program as well get access to reward tiers. As a Tiger fan, you get the satisfaction of knowing you are helping out your favorite local media organization. As a member of the ETN fan club, you are officially recognized on air and can receive ETN goodies throughout the year. As an in-broadcast red sponsor, you get to sponsor a specific segment of any broadcast. For more information, email bird_brandon at sbbsd.org. This is a $25 per month commitment. As an appreciator of Erie's live broadcast with the weekly news, you can help support this program by becoming one of our patrons by going to bit.ly/ETNPatreon.
Welcome back in, Erie Tiger Network. 35-10. And we were given predictions before the game. Correct me if I'm wrong, Dylan. I think I said something like 35-28. They've gotten Erie right, but goodness, did not expect the defensive performance tonight from the Tigers. And, well, folks, Ponderosa is leading now by 2 scores in the fourth quarter of that game against Pueblo West. And the reason that that is so heartbreaking for us is it means we will not probably carry video next week because Ponderosa, they put every game on the NFHS, and NFHS, as you know, has exclusive rights throughout the playoffs. In fact, pretty much every Ponderosa game has been on the NFHS. So we'll probably be audio only next weekend. There's a pitch here to the near side, and have not called the name in the last little bit of Chevelle Early, and that is his second longest run of the night. But there is a flag down. Right now, it's as it stands, it's a 17-yard run. No, I guess no flag. Just the body language from South was looking back at the official. So 17 yards on the pickup. Early now has 89 yards rushing. Pass to the sideline, incomplete. Well, our Worth Chiropractic, good health, good player of the game. I mean, I think you give it to the Tigers secondary. They have had the collective unit. You had Preston Terranova making big plays. You had even Hall as an outside linebacker. You had Blake Barnett. He had an interception. Braylon Tolliver back there at safety for Erie. You had Logan Quinn. He made some huge plays from his outside linebacker position. We saw Noah Garcia. I know I'm missing several of those guys, but man, they have done an incredible job. In fact, in the last 10 or 11 passes for Capra, he's completed 2 for 2 yards and an interception. Remarkable performance. Handoff up the middle. Early breaks through the line of scrimmage, and a big pickup there on 3rd and short.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, Denver South's running game has come alive. They had the one big play, but with the Tigers up 25 with 4:15 remaining, hard to see the Ravens coming back in this one.
And a timeout from Erie on the field. And we'll keep some tabs on the scores around 4A as they impact the Tigers. By the way, the Frederick Golden Eagles won tonight up in Summit, 35-14. So they're moving on to the second round. And Skyline right now getting beat 24-0. Dakota Ridge keeping it close to Loveland. They're down 21-0 at halftime. Montrose up a couple scores against Golden. Heritage and Mesa Ridge, that one's still showing us a halftime score, but a 13-point lead for Ponderosa over Pueblo West. Man, that stings. So 1st and 10 here for Denver South. Well, we'll still have all the audio as we will get you into Thanksgiving break. Deep curl route. That one is caught by Guevara, and he's slammed down to the turf at the 16. 22-yard pickup there for Capra.
First play in a while, the Tigers have given up chunk yardage in the air attack. Tigers defense has definitely stepped up on both the ground game and the air game.
Capra looking, fires over the middle. Oh, and that was well defended. Braden Tolliver there in the middle of that one. Braylon. He's a freshman. We'll get his name right here eventually. 2nd and 10 now for the Ravens.
There's a man way off sides coming onto the field for the Tigers.
Taking a little bit of time here.
Yeah, it may have been a false start on Denver South. Really, really weird play.
Illegal, so too many men, the ultimate call, and illegal motion. So offsetting penalties.
Yeah, there was a man came way late onto the field, and Tigers maybe caught a little bit of a break there.
2nd and 10, 3:40 and counting for the Ravens. Quick pass over the middle. That was into some traffic. Keaton Strange almost got a hand on that one. So 3rd down and 10. Handoff. Early had to pivot, reverse course, and man, 8 Tigers in on the tackle there. They have swarmed to the ball nicely here tonight.
Yeah, and that was set up by Jackson Kogel. He just pushed his man back through the backfield, forced Early to change directions, and then the white bodies got there before Early could make anything happen.
4th and 9. Low snap. Fade route, end zone, through the mitts and incomplete, and the Tigers will force a turnover on downs. So the Erie Tigers holding Denver South to 10 points tonight. This explosive offense, they were without Rashad Caldwell tonight. And unfortunately for Denver South, their season will end here on this field tonight.
Yeah, and the Tigers are the only team other than Gateway to hold Denver South to less than 2 touchdowns. Gateway forfeited their game, so they didn't give up any touchdowns. But great defensive job by the Tigers. 2 games in a row that the defense has shown up.
Ronan Ward, the quarterback, in for the Tigers. And handoff. Is that Brendan Young with the football out there? Brendan Young getting the first carry of his career, at least to my recollection.
Brendan's over there on the sideline. That's an unrostered number 14.
All right, so a backup number 14. Well, if you know in the chat, let us know, because we have no idea. Ronan gets the snap, runs read, stutters at the line, makes a couple man miss, and Ronan Ward, just the jitterbug, got a lot of electricity. He has played backup quarterback this year, and he wanted to get on the field and just help out this team, and he has made an impact, I think, in the passing game. He only had one catch tonight for the Tigers, but just a player that can catch and turn it up the field and go. So 1st and 10. For Erie with 2:01 remaining here. One more first down ought to do it. Ward's going to keep it himself, follows a convoy of blockers, now ducks under a tackler, gets twisted backward into the turf, and will get a yard on the play, maybe. Well, it's been a fun season. Tiger fans will extend out another week. Of course, we won't know if that will be a Friday night or Saturday game, probably till tomorrow sometime. If we get that information, we'll put that out on our social media, as Ponderosa might opt to do a Friday night game. Trying to think back to last year, that was a day game against Palmer Ridge in that quarterfinal. Tigers last year in this round knocked off Fruita Monument on their way to that state championship game. And this year they will have an opportunity for revenge. And in class this week, I think the students will cut up maybe a recap of that Ponderosa game and kind of replay that. Man, that was a special teams nightmare for Erie. But the teams have played each other, and if you're Erie, I know they want another shot at Ponderosa, and they will get one. The question is, what will they do with it? And we'll know a week from at least tomorrow.
Yeah, I think a big difference from the week 1 game to now, the Tigers have found their footing defensively, at least this game and the previous game. Ponderosa, I do believe, is without their starting quarterback, which is a big blow. And then Tigers have definitely cleaned up on the special teams part of the game. But this game today was a big win for the Tigers with the upset, 11 seed over a 6 seed. Not the only upset going tonight, 11 over 6 and 5. I just saw that. Rock Canyon over, I do believe that is Columbine. But big win for the Tigers. Big job showing up by the defense. I think one thing Tigers need to work on is their goal-to-go situations. Definitely struggled with that today. But Tigers prove that they have what it takes to beat the best in 4A.
Tremendous, tremendous game for the Tigers. That's going to do it for us here at All City Stadium. A special thanks to Dylan Donahue, who turned into a popsicle, I think, maybe midway through the third quarter. Chad Jamison for producing this game tonight. He was our producer, our CG, our director. He did it all on the broadcast computer. And, of course, my main man on the mic, D-Rich, Dylan Richardson. And, well, we'll be back on the call. It might not have video accompanied with it, but we will be there in one form or another next week, at least we hope. We can't guarantee that. I guess we have to be given a spot in the press box. But we will do our best to get on air in one way or another next week. For all of those fellas tonight and everyone in the Erie Tiger Network class and across the Erie Tiger Network, I'm Brandon Bird. Until next time, Tiger fans, I'll chirp at you later.